That's a good start. That's a good start, isn't it? Talking into a muted mic for the first 50 seconds. Let's do that again, shall we? Good evening. Down here from the nice and warm United Kingdom. Once again, Ultra Tech is the name. And tonight, the zone cards are the game. As Alan Babbage in the ring there. The white Joe Frazier himself, Alan Babbage, nearly having his head taken clean off after the bell by what's this guy? Buatsi. Do you know what I mean? Buatsi. It is what it is. I'm not really paying much attention to this fight because it's an Alan Babbage fight. I mean, the guy is very, very entertaining. Buatski's having a point taken off, and probably rightly so. Punch Babbage after the bell, and Babbage is still having a hard time sort of collecting his senses there. It is what it is. Yeah. Was that on the bell, Richard, or after the bell? Listen, if I was Buatsi, now's the time to go for it because Babbage is still feeling that. Babbage is taking a big left hook. Do you know what? I have to say, I don't like Babbage, yeah? But I would be fuming if that's the way he went out, you know. Was that punch on the bell or after the bell on Alan Babbage? Because he doesn't look right to me. And I don't know why Buatski's on the back foot. I mean, now's the time if you want to win the fight to step to him and let some shots go because, you know, despite the knockdown in the first round, which I didn't see, I think he's way behind on the cards, taking a beating for much of this fight. Started on the bell. The follow-up might have been after. Well, it was what it was. Now's the time for him to get these shots together. Because Babbage, you can see, is still hurt in that 10th round. Babbage still hasn't got himself back together. He still hasn't got himself back together. He's still buzzed up from that shot. And Buatski's on the back foot here. And I just really want to see him get in there and throw some leather. But it is what it is. Babbage is probably going to get this fight on points and well-deserved. Right. Time for the main event of the evening. As you can see here, Astrid Wett and Ellie Brooke. Oh, sorry, my bad. It's Joshua Buatsi. It's Joshua Buatsi and Craig. I gave Canelo a better fight. Or I gave Bivol a harder fight than Canelo Richards. Jesus fucking Christ. Apparently this is some kind of big fight in British boxing. A South London derby, they call it. Oh, that was a big left hook. Oh, Babbage is... Oh, my gosh. Babbage is nearly gone. That was a big left hook. My gosh, is Buatsi going to get stuck in here? He's hurt again. Sorry about that. To be honest, look, if you gave me the choice between watching Astrid Wett and Elliot Brooke and Ed Matthews and Simple Simon or this fucking shit right here, Craig Richards and Joshua Buatsi, I'll probably go with Astrid Wett and Ellie Brooke. Now, I do know who Ellie Brooke is now. So I don't know if you guys have followed me on Twitter. But if you follow me on Twitter, you will see that I did some research into Ellie Brooke. So I've done some research into Ellie Brooke. And yeah, she's definitely not a racist. That's all I can. That's the one good thing I will say about Ellie Brooke. She's definitely not a racist. Racist, she's not. That's all I'll say. She's got time for the brothers. Hey, Ellie Brooke, if you're listening, let me say, shout out to Ellie Brooke, man. She's always got time for a brother, man. You meet some of these women, innit, yeah? You meet some of these type of posh type of broads. Look, let me get this go up here. You meet some of these posh broads, innit? These private school birds, and they just got no time for a brother. But listen, this Ellie Brooke, wow, she definitely got time for a brother. Definitely a Liberal Democrat voter. I think if you had a look at the ballot slips that Ellie Brooke be filling in, she's definitely not a conservative like me. She's definitely a Lib Dem all the way, I would say. So, nevertheless, very interesting fight. Much more interesting than this fucking shite. Listen, if Buatsi is who we think he is, he should be... Richard, I've said it time and time again. This whole Richards gave Bivol a tough fight stuff is just fucking bollocks to me. I know people are going to hate on me for saying that, but I'm just going to call it how I see it. Like, this whole Craig Richards gave Dimitri Bivol a super tough fight is bollocks. Like, Bivol, for me, was never in any trouble at any point of losing his title to Craig Richards. That's a classic case, yeah, of going through the gears. And yeah, like I said before, look, I'm not a boxer, but you know, you've been in the gym, and when you spar somebody in the gym sometimes, and you just know they're not on that level, it's hard to get up for them kind of things. You know, it's hard. You know, it really is. It's hard to get up, and it's not even like you're trying to be disrespectful, but the adrenaline isn't the same. The fear factor isn't the same. It's just not the same. It really isn't the same. And you guys know, I don't even hard spar, but do you know what I mean? I had a spar last week with somebody. Not a hard spar, but I had a spar last week with somebody, and just like, I was the much bigger guy for a change. It was one of the few times I was the much bigger guy, and you don't do things the way you normally do them sometimes. You know, you get a bit lazy with the lead hand, you drop your hands, you try things you shouldn't try, you do things you shouldn't do because you just know there's no danger. Do you know what I mean? And that's just some fighters are really disciplined and they can keep a high level all the way through. And some people are just they need that boot up the arse, or they need that fire to get them up a level. Like Usyk's a bit like that. Quite a few of these European fighters are like this, to be honest. Then these Eastern fighters are like that, where the better the opponent, the better they get. Look at Usyk versus Chaz Witherspoon, and then compare Usyk, how he fought versus Anthony Joshua. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes these kind of fighters, the better the opponent, the better they get. Do you know what I mean? And if you've seen any of Eddie Brooks videos, if you've seen any of Eddie Brooks photos, trust me when I say this. The better the opponent, the better she gets. She goes up in weight really, really well. That's all I can say from the research I've been done on her videos. She seems to go up in weight really, really well. Really well. 7-inch, 10-inch, doesn't matter. Seems to go. All right, let's stop these jokes now. Who have I got? I just think Buatsi's supposed to be on another level, isn't he? I mean, I just think Buatsi's supposed to be on another level, isn't it? So I'm going to go Joshua Buatsi conclusively. Why not? Why not? I'm going to go Joshua Buatsi conclusively. I mean, he is supposed to be... Listen, Spencer Fearon, who is a great friend of the show, once said that he was the next Evander Holyfield. So, listen, it is what it is, isn't it? You've got to go for Buatsi. I think Buatsi is just a completely different kettle of fish. By the way, I haven't really been following it. I haven't really been watching the gloves are off and all this kind of stuff, yeah? But Buatsi looks super serious, man. That's all I can tell you. Like, Buatsi looks super serious. Like, he looks in tremendous shape. You know one thing about Buatsi as well that I like, the one thing I do like about him, he's a very, very spiteful fighter when he gets in the ring. Would you agree with that, yes or no? Outside of the ring, he's a very, very nice guy. Right? I've never met him, but I think we all know outside of the ring, Joshua Buatsi is a very, very nice guy. But he is spiteful. Do you know what I mean? Like, Joshua Buatsi is spiteful. When he gets in the ring, he's spiteful. He doesn't mind hurting somebody. You know what I mean? Like, he's genuinely spiteful. I can't explain it. It's like, I'm not trying to say Joshua Buatsi is like Terence Crawford. Do you understand? But Terence Crawford's another fighter. Do you know what I mean? He's spiteful. You know, he's going in there to get people out of there. He's going in there to hurt people. He's outside of the ring, he's a nice guy, but he's got that nasty side to him in the ring. You know? If Buatsi is what we think he is, then he has to be beating guys like Craig Richards. And that's just the bottom line of it, isn't it? We can sit here and fucking talk about Craig Richards is an imaginary close fight against Bivol until the cows come home, right? We could talk about Craig Richards' imaginary close fight against Bivol until the clowns come home. Yeah, if you're watching DAZN right now, the clowns literally are quite coming home. Babic got a gift. No, he didn't. I actually watched those rounds. No, he didn't. Come on, man. Come on. By the way, for those of you Amir Khan fans out there, Amir Khan, you can see on the right-hand side of the screen on Twitter, considering getting into politics. Yeah? One of Amir Khan's followers, you should also join politics. Amir Khan, I would consider it. That's just what we need, yeah? In an energy crisis, isn't it? Inflation going up, energy bills crisis. That's just what we need, isn't it? Amir Khan running the energy bills. Amir Khan running the energy bills. See, Amir Khan's energy bill must be fucking high as a kite. Can you imagine what Amir Khan's internet bill's like? Amir Khan must have the biggest broadband bill in Britain. I'd imagine, yeah, most of the internet backbone running for the United Kingdom must be struggling, yeah, during prime time in Amir Khan's house. With Khan whipping his chipolata out to to all and sundry, innit? Khan whipping out his chipolata to all and sundry. Amir Khan talking about energy bills. Amir Khan's energy bill must be going through the roof. Broadband bill. Amir Khan broadband bill must be like fucking £200 a day. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Amir Khan talking about you want to get into politics. Do you know what happens when you get into politics, yeah? They wait until it's election time and then they bring out all the dirty info on you, innit? That's what they do. They wait until it's election time and then like a week before the election, they just, all the nasty stuff that they found out about you, they just dump it all out in the press in a last minute attempt to get people to stop voting for you. Jesus Christ. Imagine Amir Khan running for election. Get Amir Khan to run for London Mayor. Fucking hell. Controversy after controversy after controversy. Jesus Christ. The man with front page, yeah, the Daily Mail for the man with the front page in the Daily Mail every day of the week in the run up to any election. Palmer Parade says Amir Khan as health secretary, banking the NHS with infinity-free plastic surgery for his wife. Do you know what? Honestly, what's her name? Oh, I forgot a bloody name. What's Khan's wife's name? Man, there was no need for her to do that to her face, you know, whatever her name was. And she seems all right, you know. Oh, here he is. Ladbroke Grove's finest is turning up. Here we go. Here we go. Faryal, yeah? What the fuck? Why did she do that? She was stunning. I mean, someone has to go to these women, innit? And say, why are you doing that? Like, you look great. Peter Wilkinson, Ultra, give me a spanner. I can't give you a spanner at the minute. The next one in line to get the spanner is actually Jason Walker. I can give you a ban. Let me know if you want that, and I'll get back to you. There was no need for this woman to do what she done. Do you know what I mean? What was she thinking? You can see her here. She had the nose done in this one, but gee, look at this. Look. What the fuck? And there was, oh gosh, there was just nothing wrong with this woman whatsoever. But you know what? Like I said before, it shows you, doesn't it? It shows you that what I've been saying for a long time, innit? It shows you that it's not just about looks. It's about personality. Like, look, you have to understand, yeah? Angelina Jolie was supposed to be the greatest looking woman in the history of mankind. Even she couldn't keep Brad Pitt. Yeah? Will Smith is supposed to be one of the best looking men on the planet, or one of the most eligible men on this planet. And even Will Smith says simp. You see how Will Smith gets treated? Looks only go so far. You know, you need a bit of personality, like Ellie Brooke. Now, Ellie Brooke, let me tell you, I did some research on Ellie Brooke the other day. She's got plenty of personality. Do you know what I mean? Plenty of personality. You know, I have to say, it's always comforting when these it's always comforting when you see these white people that are down with the brothers. Do you know what I mean? Now, Ellie Brooke could tell you a thing or two about civil rights. Let me tell you, if we had Ellie Brooke in civil rights, there'd be no fighting. We had Ellie Brooke back in the day. Richard says personality all over her face, as they say. That's it. See what I mean? Oh, dear. Can we please move on from the Brook chat, please? We might have to move on from you. What about that? That's what I'm saying. Now, Ellie Brooke, that's a hell of a woman. Do you know what I mean? That's a hell of a woman, you know? Respects ethnic minorities, does her bit for diversity. You know? Does her bit for diversity. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know, lots of inclusion as well. She's very inclusive, isn't she? She's really inclusive. You know, any brothers turning up there, she'll make you feel okay. Let me stop. Right. Davies and Dave says, did she give up her seat? Yeah. And some. Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought we were going to be on the main event. Oh, for fuck. Instead, we've got to sit down and watch Chantel Cameron. Oh, Jesus Christ. The zone is just a fucking... Jesus fucking Christ, man. I actually genuinely thought it was going to be the main event. Main event at 10:30. Great. Now I've got to sit down and watch Chantel Cameron and Bustos. Brilliant. Brilliant. Chantel Cameron. Just what everybody wants to see before the main event. Let's see Chantel Cameron defending them titles. I mean, give me a break with this fucking shit, man. In other news, so yeah, what have we covered? We've covered Eddie Brooke. I'm going to turn off the Eddie Brooke topic pretty quickly. Look, they're even showing Chantel Cameron walking out of the change room. Who gives a shit? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you talk about overproduction? Who gives a shit about Chantel Cameron walking out of the change room to the ring? Like, this ain't Fury and fucking Wilder and shit. This ain't AJ and Usyk. It's like Chantel Cameron. Like, who gives a shit? Do you know what I mean? Why are they doing that? Why have they got cameras following Chantel Cameron out the changing room? Do you know what I mean? It's proper, like, the overproduction. For me, like, DAZN and Sky. Overproduction because the fights are wank. It's true, though, isn't it? It's true. Have you seen that crap one they're still doing where they... Well, you know when they film them come into the arena and they slow it down to give it that dramatic effect? Do you know what I mean? So you see these broads pull up to the car park, yeah? And you've got the fucking traffic warden out there waiting for them just to make sure they don't fucking park up on a double yellow line and shit. And they slow it down. You see how they do it like this? They slow everything down. They slow the speed down to like 0.2 as these idiots are walking to the ring. Just to make it that little bit more dramatic. Yeah, it's shit, exactly, Joe. Polishing a turd, it's still nonsense, isn't it? At the end of the day, right, it doesn't matter how many cameras you put on the fucking outside their changing room, it's still Chantel Cameron versus Bustos. That's what it is, isn't it? It doesn't matter, does it? Do you know what I mean? It's bollocks, isn't it? Sorry, I'm not in the mood tonight, as you can see. It is what it is. Let's have a quick scroll down. So, yes, if you are joining us, please hit the like button. Joshua Buatsi versus Craig Richards is imminent. We just got to sit through Chantel Cameron first. Hopefully Chantel Cameron gets this girl out of there. The good thing about women's boxing is it's 2-minute rounds. So the fights will start quickly and they're over quickly. And then we can get through to this main event. I think PG asked me, who have I got? I mean, you've got to go for Buatsi. If he's the guy that they say he is, then he's got to get guys like Craig Richards out of there. And they're talking about the winner versus Canelo Alvarez down the line. Have you heard this shit? Look. Have you heard this shit? They're talking about the winner of this fight versus Canelo Alvarez down the line. But British boxing is a clown show. Hearn prefers Canelo Golovkin in full. Oh, since obviously Canelo got beat. So before Canelo got beat, they were talking about Canelo versus the winner of fucking Bivol versus the winner of Richards and Buatsi. Now they're talking about Bivol faced Buatsi Richards winner. Oh God, Jesus Christ, man! You're Dmitry Bivol, man. You want to go in there and go for undisputed against Beterbiev or Joe Smith, and Eddie Hearn's trying to put you into a fight with. Can you imagine that? If you're Dmitry Bivol, you've just beaten Canelo Alvarez on pay-per-view in one of the biggest fights in boxing, and your promoter's telling you that you need to, step in off a career-defining, legacy-defining win in which you made the most money you'll ever make in your life, sans a Canelo rematch. You need to go from that fight into a fight with Richards or Buatsi. What do you guys think about that? That's fucking painful. Richards, no pushover. He did well against Bivol. I'll give him my opinion on that. I really don't think he did that great, but that's my opinion. What do I know about boxing? It was what it was. I'm expecting Buatsi to go in there tonight and do the business. It is what it is. Bivol needs the UK government to stop Matchroom working with his Russian promoter. Jesus Christ. Have you heard this talk about Billy Joe Saunders coming back as well in the meantime? Have you guys heard this yet? about Billy Joe Saunders. I believe he's still under contract with Matchroom. So if he comes back, he might have to come back with Matchroom. He might have no choice. Because I believe he signed an X-Fight deal, didn't he? So I believe if he comes back, he might have to come back with Matchroom. It's interesting because I think at one time, apparently he said that he doesn't want to fight with Matchroom anymore and he wants to go and fight with Sky. But it looks like he's got no choice. Apparently, Hearn wants him in the ring with John Ryder. Billy Joe Saunders to return to action in September or October. Well, he's been working out, hasn't he, with probably the best nutritionist in British boxing, Greg Marriott. And I'm not even joking. Greg Marriott, the best in the business. So he's been working out with Greg Marriott, hasn't he? While we have a laugh about Billy Joe Saunders, I will leave you with Tyson Fury in the background there. A drunk Tyson Fury getting carried away and kicking his tyres. Yeah, Games You Love says that will come back with Matchroom. He's coming back with Matchroom, it looks like. Hearn's talking about shoving him in the ring with Ryder. I think he's under contract with him, you know. I think he's under contract with him. So I'm not sure if he can get out of it. Seriously, I've been a fan of Bivol for a while. Seems like a great guy, but we shouldn't be allowing Russians to fight here. Why not? Why should we not be allowing Russian boxers to fight here? Dmitry Bivol hasn't done anything to anybody. Why shouldn't Dmitry Bivol be allowed to box in the UK? He hasn't done anything to anybody. He hasn't hurt anybody. He's not the one declaring war on people. So why not? Bivol should just be allowed to box. I think Russian athletes should be allowed to come to the UK. Absolutely allow them to come to the UK and make money. Why not? Why shouldn't Russian athletes be allowed to come to the UK? It is what it is. H-Town says, apparently Fury and Saunders have fallen out. It is what it is, isn't it? I think it is what it is. It is what it is. Look, let me tell you about... I'm not going to say nothing. Look, all I will say is this. There's no need for anybody to feel sorry for Billy Joe Saunders. And that's all I'll tell you. I won't say anything other than that. I mean, look, I'm not one to judge anybody, but I can tell you for... All I can say is I can tell you for a fact, you don't worry about Billy Joe Saunders. Because, like I said before, a lot of the things that he goes through, with all due respect, are completely self-inflicted. And it was what it was. Billy Joe Saunders knew what he should have done. He knew the situation he was in. He was with a promoter who had his back. And then he went to a promoter who didn't have his back. And that was it. But there's other things that I'm talking about. Oh, my gosh, my internet's gone fucked up. There's other things that I'm talking about as well. Anyway, don't worry about Billy Joe. That's all I can say. There's people in this chat who know the kind of things I'm talking about. And yeah, he's with who's he with at the minute? Marriott. He's got Craig Marriott to try and get him into shape. So it's over for Billy Joe Saunders. It's over. What do you guys think about Billy Joe? For me, he's cooked. He's done. He's cooked. Listen, he was hard to match before the Canelo fight, before the GGG fight. He was hard to match. He was hard to match because he's a guy who wanted a lot of money to box, but he was never a draw. He was never a ticket seller. So promoting him was also that was always the issue when you're promoting someone like Billy Joe Saunders, because he wants a lot of money to fight, but he doesn't generate money. He doesn't generate money, and he changes coaches 150 times a day, and you know, he's not a 168 fighter. People are talking about, yeah, Ultra, he got the money for Canelo. Billy Joe Saunders is never a 168 fighter in a million years. He's never a 168-pound fighter in a million years. That's all I can tell you. Do you know what I mean? He's never a 168-pound fighter in a million years. I mean, disciplined, he could kill himself and get to 154 if he actually thing. He's never a 168 fighter. So, and people are mentioning Eddie Hearn. I'm not saying Eddie Hearn's the reason. I'm talking about things outside of boxing, which I'm not going to discuss here because I don't snitch and I don't do air out people's dirty laundry on any form of social media. So that's the one thing about me. Yeah, I don't really get a lot of information about fires and stuff, but when I do, I keep it to myself. That's one thing. People can criticize me until the cows come home and say what they want about me, but the one thing nobody can say about me is that I'm a fucking rat. That's the one thing that nobody can say about me. They like me or don't like me. Nobody can ever say that I'm a rat. One thing I never do is I never go to a fighter and go, do you know what he said about you? And then go back to the other fighter and go, do you know what he said about you? I never do that. Ever. To any fighter. Ever. Ever. That's the one thing I'll say. When fighters come and talk to me, or if fighters talk to me, or if people in boxing, which they do occasionally, yeah? If People in boxing who work in boxing come to me and ping me up and say, Ultra, what do you think about this? You know, when they have a little laugh, they know that it never goes outside of conversation with anybody. I mean, with anybody, not even with Shevin. Can you believe that? GP Poker says, so yeah, before we move on to Buatsi, what do you guys think? 149 in the chat, 28 likes. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like I said before, must be racism. Must be racism. 138 in the chat, 28 likes. Must be racism. If you want to show some love for the brothers, like your girl Ellie Brooke, please hit the like button if you would like to wish to do so. No, I don't live by no street code. Let me get that clear. I'm not from the streets. I'm not from the streets. I'm from Sesame Street. I've said this a million times. I am not from no street. I've never pretended on here to be a gangster. I've never told people I have fights, even though I've been in gyms and had plenty of. I've come home with plenty of bruises from boxing. I've come home with plenty of bruises. I've come home with plenty of headaches, plenty of stuff. But I don't lie and say I'm a fighter. I don't call people out. I know they're playing in them stupid games. But one thing is this, yeah, I don't chat other people's business. Do you know who chats other people's business? A lot of people who say they're gangsters, strangely enough, spend a lot of time talking about other people's business. But see, I don't do that. I don't do that. It is what it is. James Allen says Billy is simply a pisshead. Saunders is done. He's abused his body too much. He won't age well in the sport. He's done, man, to me. He's done. Absolutely done. What's he going to do? What weight do you think he comes back at as well? What weight do you think he comes back at when he comes back? What weight's he going to come back at? He's massive. He was massive last time he was we got a caught a glimpse of him. So what's he going to do? You think he's going to be able to make it back down to 168? 160 is where he should be. That's where he should be. 160. That's where he should be. 175, you think, Richard? Do you know what? Shall I tell you what I would do, Richard, if I was Frank Warren? Which shouldn't happen. Shall I tell you what I would do if I was Frank Warren? I've got a feeling that Zach Parker's going to become the full WBO champion, right? If Zach Parker becomes the full WBO champion, offer him a title shot against Zach Parker. What do you think about that one, Richard? That's what I would do. If I was Frank, I would say, look, I'll offer you an immediate world title shot, one and done against Zach Parker. If Zach Parker becomes the full WBO champion, yeah? And say, right, Zach Parker, because to tell you what, Chris Eubank Jr. ain't going to fight Zach Parker. Because Chris Eubank Jr. knows what's going to happen. He ain't going to fight Zach Parker. That's the fight I would like to see. Chris Eubank Jr. and Zach Parker. But they're not going to make that fight, are they? Because they know what's going to happen. They know what's going to happen if Zach Parker gets in with Chris Eubank. Zach Parker will do Chris Eubank some serious harm if they fight, you know. I hope people understand that, you know. Like, a lot of people will be talking about, no disrespect to Chris Eubank, yeah? A lot of people will be talking about Chris Eubank million punches on the wall punch pad. I'm telling you right now, if you put Zach Parker in the ring with Chris Eubank Jr., Chris Eubank Jr. is going to be in serious trouble in that fight, you know. So I don't think Uncle Ben Shalom will be making that fight anytime soon. So since Chris Eubank won't take it, and he should take it, by the way, because he called him out Golovkin. So if you can fight with Golovkin, then you can fight with Zach Parker, right? Isn't that true? Am I right or am I wrong? Well, if you can fight Golovkin, he called him out Golovkin, right? So if you can fight Golovkin, then you can fight Zach Parker, right? So fight Zach Parker for a WBO title, and you can become a world champion. Has Chris Eubank Jr. ever been a world champion, or do we count the IBO? Has Chris Eubank Jr. ever been a world champion? Never been a world champion, right? You've never actually won an alphabet belt, right? So you never won an alphabet belt. So go and fight Zach Parker with Zach Parker. Go and fight Zach Parker now. If you win, if you beat Zach Parker, you become the interim champion, don't you know? Or you become the WBO #1, right? Go and take Zach Parker's ranking. But he won't do it. His whole team knows what will happen. It's the same with... so if I was Frank, I would... that's the fight that I would get for Saunders. If I was Frank, if he's available, I would say... one-off shot, WBO world title, Zach Parker. And Zach Parker will get Billy Joe Saunders out of there pronto. Simple as that. Zach Parker will get Billy Joe Saunders out of there in 2 seconds. And then this whole fucking shebang can come to an end. Respect to Andrade, but he knows that Parker had a very good chance of beating him. I don't know about that. I'm not one of these guys that accuses other fighters of faking injury. I just don't do that. I've never done that ever in my life. Have I accused a fighter of faking injury? Ever. You know? Ever. I've always given fighters the benefit of the doubt, and I always will. I don't believe in that. So I leave that to other people who do that kind of thing. You know, it's mainly dudes who've never been in the gym. They're the first ones to criticize others and say, so and so's a coward, so and so scared. It's normally the guys who've never actually put any gloves on. It's the truth. I'm just being honest with you, innit? It's normally those kind of guys that are the first ones to come up with that stuff. I leave it, innit? I'm not interested in that stuff, man. I leave it. For real. Andrew Kane. This guy is the most intense man in boxing. This man, Andrew Kane. Do you know how intense this man is? This man's intense. Andrew Kane. This man's intense. I used to do a little bit of a DNA test on Andrew Kane. He got a bit too much swag. Do you know what I mean? He got a bit too much swag. I'm gonna check Andrew Kane's bloodline now. He might have a grandfather called Devon or something. Let me check out Andrew Kane bloodline. Because right now, let me tell you, Andrew Kane steps underneath a tanning bed. I'm ready to claim Andrew Kane as one of my own. This man's an absolute savage. You know about Andrew Kane. This man is a fucking savage. He's a savage. Have you ever seen this man in an interview? Like, he ain't got no time for anybody, is he, Andrew Kane? He's got no time for anybody. He don't give a shit, does he? I see him do an interview and he couldn't wait. He's like, yeah. He just 30 seconds and out. That's a man who's about business. Andrew Kane. You look at my Twitter page right now. I've listed the most intimidating fighters in boxing history. Tell me what you think about this list. These are Ultratech's most intimidating boxers in history. 5, Nigel Benn. 4, Deontay Wilder. 3, Marvin Hagler. 2, Mike Tyson. And number 1, Andrew Kane ERT. What do you think about that list? It's my top 5 most intimidating and intense fighters of all time. Number 5, Nigel Benn. Number 4, Deontay Wilder. Marvin Hagler at 3. Mike Tyson at 2. Andrew Kane ERT number 1. Oh, yeah, Joe says Romford Bull. Yeah, Johnny Fisher. Yeah, Johnny Fisher definitely be in that top 5. The Bosch soldier. You definitely put him in that top 5, wouldn't you? Johnny Fisher. 138 in the chat. Let's have a look. 45 likes. Come on, give me a few more likes. Jesus Christ. I mean, we've already cut close to the bone with some of these Ellie Brick jokes. Jesus Christ. Talking about sailing close to the wind. them Ellie Brick jokes alone should have given me 144 likes and 144 views. Buatsi and Richards will be on next. We're just waiting for Chantel Cameron and Bustos, to end. And I'll be damned if I give you any live commentary on that, because who gives a hot fuck about Chantel Cameron? I don't. Trevor Bryan versus Daniel Dubois in 3 weeks' time. Listen. I tell you what I'll pay pay-per-view for. I would never pay pay-per-view for Daniel Dubois, and Trevor Bryan. I pay pay-per-view to see Daniel Dubois' face when he gets that check from Don King. That's what I want to see. Give me that on pay-per-view. I want someone to shove a camera in Daniel Dubois' face when he opens that check from Don King. Let me get a nice screenshot for you and I'll show you what I mean. Daniel Dubois getting that check from Don King. Somebody told Daniel Dubois we getting £1.5 million. Oh, yeah? One sec. Someone told Daniel Dubois he's going to be getting £1.5 million from Don King. Fortunately for Daniel Dubois, when he get that paycheck from Don King, his paycheck going to be looking like this. Look. Daniel Dubois. Man's paycheck going to be looking like this. Deductions everywhere. There you go. Daniel Dubois going to be going on Monzo, innit, afterwards. Understanding your pay slip. What are these deductions? Daniel Dubois going to be like, what are these deductions? Daniel Dubois gets his paycheck from Don King. Like, yo, what are these deductions that are going on here? Do you know what I mean? What's this? The Daniel Dubois fan club? I don't have a fan club. Who's doing this? Don King will be telling him, yeah, I'll set one up for you. Just like we did for Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was paying all that money to Don King for running the Mike Tyson fan club. And then Don King took all the kids' letters and he put them in the bin. And what did he do? Did he put them in the bin? People were writing in for Tyson. And Tyson put all the letters in the and Don King put all the letters in the bin, or he put them all in some warehouse or something. And Tyson wasn't getting the letters. That's a Don King in it. What's this? The Daniel Dubois fan club? The Triple D fan club? I didn't know I had a fan club. Yeah, I'll set one up for you. Well, what's this? What's this? The Daniel Dubois Foundation. Yeah, it's a foundation for charitable boxers after they finished. I didn't set that up. Yeah, I set it up for you. No, I set that up for you. I thought that's what you wanted, didn't it? That's what you wanted when you took the fight. Daniel Dubois, man. It is what it is. Do you know what, yeah? When Frank Warren got that contract back from Don, he was laughing, you know. I don't know if you guys saw it in the IFL TV interviews. When Frank Warren got that contract back from Don King, that's why the fight took about a month and a half to set up. You know, after Don King won the purse bid, yeah, the fight took like a month and a half to set up. That's because they had to go back and forth, because the contract that Don King sent over was a Mickey Mouse contract. Do you know what I mean? Now, I'd like to speak to Frank directly to get the details of that contract, but I'd imagine it was some slave shit. Do you know what I mean? Imagine it was some slave shit. Do you know what I mean? It was what it was, isn't it? Yeah. Samuel Harrison says, Daniel Dubois better have the best lawyer about if he's got Jeffrey Benz. Jeffrey Benz. A.K.A. Lionel Hutz. Matt B says, Don going to have Daniel paying for the towels, part of the electric bill for the venue. Of course. Daniel Dubois thinks he's getting fucking... Listen to this. Oh, I've got to be careful what I say here, right? Actually, let me do it like this. Hold on. Let me be careful what I say, but... Let's have a look at Daniel Dubois. Who's he got around him then? Who's he got around him? Who's he got around him in his team? So for this fight, Don King is his promoter. Don King's the promoter in the fight. And that's part of his team as well. Yo. Dubois fucked. Dubois fucked. You're going to be seeing Dubois in it. Dubois is going to be petitioning Rishi Sunak, you know, about the cost of living. I promise you, you know. Trust me, you'll be hearing Daniel Dubois be tweeting Rishi Sunak about the cost of living any minute now. After that fight, Daniel Dubois. He'll be talking to Rishi Sunak about the cost of living. Rishi, the cost of living is too much. One sec, yeah? I just need to go and get some Waitrose lemonade. Give me 3 seconds, yeah? In the words of, I don't know. I was going to make a joke there, but it wasn't very funny. Oh, look, I'm going to be back. I'm just going to do an Anthony Joshua and spit my gum shield out and then go back to the corner. Just give me 3 seconds. Sorry about that. Ah, dear. Right. If you're wondering what I'm drinking tonight, I will show you. It's all right. It's not amazing. It's actually raspberry lemonade. And it's not from Waitrose. My bad. It's from... Where do you think it is? If it's not from Waitrose, where will it be from? You guys know me now. Raspberry. Oh my God. You've got to be able to fucking spell, you moron. I'm talking to myself. I can't get a picture of it. Hold on. There we go. Come on. Fizzy. Who's up for some ginger beer? I can't find it. They don't do it here. But anyways, it's M&S, raspberry and thingy. Yeah, exactly. Tesco value. Yeah, close. It is what it is. It's M&S. It's M&S pink raspberry lemonade. There we go. pink raspberry lemonade. Not a bad one. Not a bad one. You know what? I tell you what, Yo King. In Waitrose, they do the posh ginger beer. So go for that, Yo King. Go for that ginger beer. That posh ginger beer. It's not too bad, actually. Obviously, it's Waitrose. We're not doing no D&G in there. They don't do no D&G ginger beer in there, bro. Waitrose. Waitrose ain't for that kind of thing. You feel me? D&G. There's no D&G. There's no DG in there. There's no KA in there, bro. Own brand shit. Own brand shit. You know how it roll. Yo King's not having it. Nah, that sounds a bit dodgy. It's D. You know what? It kind of has got to be DG in it. Hold on. Show you. Old Jamaica. This is the one, yeah? So this is the one, yeah? When you talk about ginger beer, obviously it's got to be this one. But Waitrose have got a posh one. I'll show you. It's actually very good. I forgot who does it. I'll try and find it in a bit. I'll find it in a bit. Waitrose do a very, very good one. I'm close. It's this one here. It's from Fever Tree, I think. Or it's London Essence. It's one of these two. There you go, Yo King. Ginger beer. Refreshingly light. Fever Tree. Premium ginger beer. Could be this one, you know. I'm not sure, you know. I'll find it. I'll get it tomorrow and I'll get a picture. I haven't done an M&S haul in a while, by the way. So I'll do an M&S haul and I'll get a picture. Right, let me get this Muppet off the screen before I end up in fucking court. Buatsi's backstage with Virgil Hunter. I got smashed. You know I got criticised. Do you know what was so funny? You know I got criticised for shout out to Chris McKenna, #1 journalist in boxing. Shout out to Chris McKenna. Do you know I got criticised for the Martin Bakole versus Tony Yoka fight? I got criticised for saying that they should have pulled Tony Yoka out. Do you know that same night? Hannah Rankin was in a world title fight. Hannah Rankin was defending her WBA women's super middleweight title, I think, yeah? Hannah Rankin, right? Hannah Rankin put someone in a coma. Hannah Rankin put somebody in a coma. Boxing is such a dangerous sport. Boxing is such a dangerous sport. People don't understand how dangerous of a sport boxing is, you know. Boxing is as dangerous as it gets, man. I promise you. That poor girl, Hannah Rankin, put that poor girl. They had to put that girl in an induced coma after she got stopped in the 10th round by Hannah Rankin. And that's why I was so concerned about Tony Yoka in that fight. And that's why I was very, very critical of what's his name? Virgil Hunter, leaving him in there. Very, very critical of Virgil Hunter leaving him in there. It's serious. Listen, let me tell you something, honestly. My spars are not hard. And I have come home with some of the worst headaches ever after being punched in the head. And my spars are not hard spars. And I've come home with some of the biggest headaches of all time. I shit you not. I've woken up in the morning after a spar and my head is thumping. First thing I do, you know, 2 or 3 fizzy paracetamol and just, it's you know, I'm on paracetamol for the day, man. The head's thumping. I ain't even in hard spars. She haven't seen photos of me come home. I look like I've been hit with a baseball bat. Not even hard spars. Look like I've been hitting with a baseball bat. Fucking red bruising everywhere. Eyes, head, side of the head, thumping headache. Such a serious game. Such a serious game, man. Sorry. So I was very, very critical of Virgil Hunter. Very, 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 very critical of Virgil Hunter for leaving Tony Yoka in there against Martin Bakole. I am not a big fan of Virgil Hunter at all, to be honest. We'll see what he's got. So for me, like I said before, you can't judge a fighter by what he says in the corner, but I will say this, and hopefully we'll hear some of Virgil Hunter's corner work tonight, although I think Buatsi's going to get riches out of there, in my opinion. But Virgil Hunter, the stuff he says in the corner is bizarre. Would you agree with that? Have you seen some of the stuff that this guy says in the corner? The advice that he comes out with is bizarre. It's not even technical. It's not even technical. It's like he's some weird-ass motivational speaker. Do you know what I mean? It's like he's some weird-ass motivational speaker. Half the stuff he says isn't even technical. It isn't even stick to this, do this, stop doing this. It isn't even that. A lot of it's just like motivational stuff. It's weird. Yeah, listening to Virgil Hunter for any more than 5 minutes, it sounds like you're listening to one of them get rich quick tapes. Do you know what I mean? Do you know them get rich quick tapes? You can get them on the on the old YouTube. These get rich quick tapes. Look at this. Look, success. This is what he'd be good at. This is what if Virgil Hunter's training career doesn't ever kick off. This is what Virgil Hunter will be good for. These little hypnosis videos. You feel me? And it's just motivational affirmations. There you go. Motivational affirmations. You just leave these on and go to bed. Leave these on. Wake up the next morning and become a millionaire. Look, here you go. This is what Virgil Hunter needs to do. Hypnosis for instant motivation and success. This is the kind of work that Virgil Hunter needs to go in there. And you just go to bed at night and you just have Virgil Hunter in your ears saying shit like, ignore the ankle tear. Ignore the broken nose. You can do this. You can do this. Keep it going. Jesus Christ. Fuck me. Oh, watching some videos today on like the military. Because a few of you guys have clocked on, yeah, from some of the Insurgency Sandstorm streams we did. I'm quite interested in the military. Man, Virgil Hunter would have been a fantastic asset to have around the time of Vietnam. He'd been a fantastic asset. Don't worry about your arms and legs missing. Don't worry about your arms and legs missing. Come on. Focus. You can do this. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. You can do this. He's a weird guy, man. Watch out for Virgil Hunter in the corner tonight. He comes out with some crazy shit, man. Shout out to my guy. Where is he? Golden Mike, man. Golden Mike's in my top 2 or 3 mods on this channel. You know what? There's not a lot of modding that goes on this channel, you know. There's people with spanners, but there ain't a lot of modding going on. So we have to break a few hearts on the modding front soon, but we'll get around to that another time. But Golden Mike, Yo King, and Richard won't be here. But someone's gonna have to. Someone's making way for Jason Walker as a mod. So it is what it is. but it ain't gonna be none of the mods that are here tonight. So I think we're gonna be okay. But someone's making way for Jason Walker, man. Pretty soon. That's it. That's it. All right. Yeah. Oh my God, these yoga videos. Look, this is what I'm saying. Look, I put in success, motivation, hypnosis. Have you seen the state of some of these yoga videos? Jesus Christ, there's not a lot of yoga going on in this stuff, is there? Wait a minute. Have you seen this shit? What YouTube's allowing? Clown show. What's this? Hold on a minute. Back pain yoga, yeah? 1 second. Where is this? Look at this. Look. Back pain yoga. Yeah, innit? Yoga. Oh my God. 189k views. It's a clown show, man. YouTuber a clown show, honestly. They fucking allow this shit. What is shit going on anyway? It is what it is. All right. Right, let me just get rid of a couple of punanis from the chat. All right, let's go. Crazy 3, blah, blah, blah. Right, so yeah, it'll go. We're in the last round of Buatsi and Cameron. Let me turn the sound up. I'm just looking at this. Chantel Cameron's thrown 700 punches in 10 rounds. Pretty incredible stuff. Guess what? I still don't care. So we're just waiting for the main event. Just watching Cameron and Buatsi. It is what it is, isn't it? So anyway, Donny Rutter says Buatsi's talented but far too inactive to become a serious champion. I think the problem with Buatsi is the division he's in, isn't it? He's in a hard division, man. The champions are Joe Smith and Beterbiev and Bivol. I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? But maybe Eddie Hearn will match him with Bivol. You know, what do you guys think? Do you think if Buatsi comes through tonight with flying colours, he'll get matched with Bivol? Why not? Why not? Hearn will probably put him with Bivol, won't he? Because he'll say, well, He'll say Bivol struggled against Craig Richards, and Buatsi went and got him out of there. So what do you think the narrative is going to be tonight? It's probably going to be that Joshua Buatsi's a world-class fighter, isn't it? That's what it's going to be, isn't it? If Buatsi gets the job done, isn't it? It's going to be Buatsi's the real deal, isn't it? It's going to be Buatsi's the guy to be the guy, isn't it? That's what it's going to be, isn't it? It's going to be Bivol struggled. Bivol struggled to beat Richards. It was a split decision, close fight. He was on the verge of getting beaten, right? Buatsi goes and gets him out of there. So Buatsi's right up there with Bivol. And then it's going to be Buatsi can beat Canelo. Do you know what? After tonight's fight, if Buatsi wins in good fashion, right? What do you think the odds are that we'll see people say that Buatsi's got a shot at Canelo? I'm serious. You know what British fans are like? You know what British boxing fans are like? They're probably the stupidest in the sport. So what do you think about that? Honestly, I might search the Twitter. I think we might see some Buatsi Canelo talk tonight. And Buatsi gets him out of there. We might hear some Buatsi's got a chance against Canelo. Just going through my tweets here. So I'm just going through my tweets here, just making sure. Making sure I'm not getting any personal messages from Andrew Kane. That man scares me. Andrew Kane, ERT. Every night I go to bed at night, I'll be checking under the fucking mattress to make sure that Andrew Kane, ERT, ain't there. Shout out to Eddie Brooke. Talk about that another time. Shout out to my man Wayne Alexander, long-time listener of the show. Recently done a little stint on Seconds Out. Shout out to Wayne Alexander. Wayne's been following this show for years. I'm really proud of that. We've got a few boxers who've been following this show for years. Few boxers. Yeah, few boxers. Boxing Hype is going to get him put in timeout. So that's the end of that, just for jokes. Ebanie Bridges. Right, guys. Buatsi and Richards is going to be on the next 10 minutes, okay? So that's that, all right? So stand by for the main event. Stand by for live coverage of the main event. Ebanie Bridges, the gift that just keeps on giving. She says, I'm looking forward to converting the doubters into fans. You can't deny me, and if you do, you don't know shit about boxing. Well, there's one thing I can't deny about Ebanie Bridges, right? And that is her prices are extremely high. That's one thing I can't deny about Ebanie Bridges. Her prices are extremely high. I mean, the fact that she charges £30, £175 for a signed boxing glove. I've never seen prices like this before. Ebanie Bridges, £175 for an autographed boxing. But you know what, like I said, that's why it's good that we have women like Ellie Brooke coming along. Now, Ellie Brooke, this is what I'm saying about what a humanitarian Ellie Brooke is. You know, Ellie Brooke understands and knows that people are going through a cost of living crisis. Do you understand? Ellie Brooke understands at the minute, yeah, the struggle that everyday people are going through just to pay their gas and their lights bill. Do you know what I mean? So Ellie Brooke, do you know what I mean? She doesn't just put her stuff out there and charge you £175 a touch. Nah, she's fair to the consumer. She's fair to the consumer. And a very, very good economist, I might add as well. And that's what I'm saying. That's why, do you know what I mean? That's why I think Ellie Brooke is good for boxing. And it's kind of funny because Gareth A. Davis said that Ebanie Bridges is the Muhammad Ali for boxing. Isn't that what Gareth A. Davis said, isn't it? Gareth A. Davis said that Ebanie Bridges was the Muhammad Ali for women's boxing. Right? That's what he said. But see, here's the thing. I would argue, with all due respect, that Ellie Brooke's done far more for young black males than Ebanie Bridges ever has. So if anybody's the Muhammad Ali of women's boxing, it's Ellie Brooke, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Ellie Brooke out here setting brothers free on the internet. She out here literally setting brothers free. Put some respect on this woman's name. Anyway, let me get out of here. £175 for a signed boxing glove. Let's carry on. What do you think about Ebanie Bridges? You can't deny me, and if you do, you don't know shit about boxing. I don't know shit about boxing, but I know something about I know a little something about Ebanie Bridges' opponents. That's all I can tell you. I might not know much about Ebanie Bridges yet, but I know something about our opponents. Let me carry on. Yeah, it is what it is. G Poker says, I bet you can get a proper signed George Foreman girl for cheaper. You probably can. You probably can. Adam D says she needs to stop the cap. 175 for a single glove. Not even a pair. She's taking the piss, mate. But there's dudes out there that will pay for it. Legit. Now, listen, I will say this one more time. I think she is in fantastic shape. You can't deny the shape she's in. She looks fantastic in her photos. She looks great. What are we saying about £25 for a photo? £45 for an auto? See, what do you like this one here? £45. It's out of stock. There you go. £45 for an autograph photo. That's not bad. That's not bad. 175 quid for a glove. I ain't sure about that one, though. We'll move on. 45 quid for a signed picture. It is what it is. Guess what? People used to complain about Frank Warren cards. It's 20 to 11 at night. And no one's seen Craig Richards since like 9 o'clock in the afternoon. Where is this main event? It's funny, isn't it? People like to criticize Frank Warren for his main events, but it's 20 to 11 now in the UK. And I can't see these two brothers in the ring. I can't see these two brothers in the ring. I was told this was going to be a big South London derby. Where is it? Where is this South London derby? I'd like to watch it before Miami and the Bucks game 3 starts. That's how bad these British cards are going on. These British cards are taking so long to come on. They're like running into NBA time. And I don't even want to watch the NBA, but they're running into NBA time and shit. If these British cards get any longer, like, you know, Jimmy Butler and fucking Giannis Antetokounmpo, I can't even pronounce his name. Giannis. Do you know what I mean? Jimmy Butler and Giannis and Chris Middleton will be out in the center doing tip-off if this takes any longer. Jeez. Oh, yeah, Miami playing the Celtics. Oh, that's shocking. Of course, the Bucks are out. Celtics already done the Bucks. You know what I mean. 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 Waiting for this main event. All right, last predictions. Who you got? Last predictions. Who have you got? Buatsi looks mean. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen Buatsi look in that kind of shape. I could be wrong, but he looks very trim. He looks very, very fucking trim. Of course, there you got Craig. Oh, Barry Hearn's around here. You see that, Barry Hearn? Barry Hearn's in a locker room with Craig Richards. Jesus, that should be an atmosphere. Jesus Christ. Barry Hearn's in the locker room with Craig Richards. Bloody hell, that should be an atmosphere, isn't it? Jesus Christ. Imagine the kind of jokes Barry Hearn will be telling in there. See? Imagine the kind of jokes Barry Hearn be telling about Craig Richards. He'd be telling all kinds of fucking jokes in there. Do you know what I mean? Big Baz. He'd be telling all kinds of crazy jokes in there, innit? You know what? Some of the stuff I want to say right now, I can't say it. Barry Hearn. Bloody hell. They should put a microphone. Tell you what. That's what I'll pay. That's the kind of content that I would pay for. That's the kind of content that I would pay for. Do you know what I mean? Just put a mic on Barry Hearn and let him wander around the changing room with two brothers. Oh, here comes Conor Benn. Conor Benn's trackied up there with Tony Bellew. Good old Conor Benn. We're getting his opponent soon. She's there with the lovely Laura Woods, the Maya Jama killer. Laura Woods, who sent Maya Jama into a permanent retirement. Shevin says Barry's going to tell Craig Richards to dye his hair like a Hara Davis. Oh my gosh. Barry Hearn, man. He's some dude, isn't it? Barry Hearn having a Hara Davis coming out to fights looking like a Duracell battery and shit. What is wrong with this dude, man? What's wrong with this dude, man? Barry Hearn. Trying to get that picture of O'Hara. See Barry Hearn's handiwork. There you go. Bazza at his finest. Well, let's see what Conor Benn's got to say. Conor the Kinner. He's talking about training and crushing it in the gym again. Counterpunch says, Laura looking fine, no cap. Listen, she put Maya Jama out of business. The whole point of Maya Jama was to come on the show and look good. 2 shows in, she was getting KO'd stone cold by Laura Woods. It was what it was, innit? Probably one of the biggest upsets since Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson. One of the biggest upsets in boxing since Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson. Maya Jama, they knew she knew nothing about boxing, but they brought her in to look good. And Laura Woods done KO'd her in about 2 seconds. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. It was what it was, wasn't it? O'Hara is in the conversation for the WBA title, Taylor vacated. Yeah, so what they got to do, all of the contenders for the WBA, what they got to do, they've all got to give a 15-minute presentation to the WBA, haven't they? I'm not even joking. Have you heard about this? All the contenders, including O'Hara Davis, have got to give a 15-minute presentation to the WBA to explain to them why they should be the WBA champion. I personally think the WBA is the worst part in boxing right now. There's so many of them. The WBA is like inflation, isn't it? You know what I'm thinking, it? WBA titles are inflationary, isn't it? There's too many on the market, so the value's going down, isn't it? They be printing out these WBA titles, they be printing out money. We might have to get the Federal Reserve to come in and do something about the proliferation of WBA titles that are out there. There's just way too many titles, way too many WBA titles, isn't it? There's more WBA titles than there are dollar bills out there right now. Inflationary. Worst part in boxing. Joshua Buatsi is going to come to the ring. I have to be honest with you. The man, I honestly believe he's a straight-up killer. I'm just going to be honest with you. Joshua Buatsi is no joke, you know. I think he's spiteful, you know. I'm expecting something big tonight from Joshua Buatsi. His walk-on music is trash. He's had that same walk-on song. Buatsi, innit? He's had that same walk-on song since his debut. His walk-on song's trash. But I have to say, Buatsi is very, very spiteful. He's very, very spiteful individual when he gets in the ring. I do agree with you. He looks like a killer. Buatsi. He's on his way to the ring. This main event's finally starting. It's 11:15 down here in the warm and dark United Kingdom. Ultratech is the name. And making bad taste jokes tonight will be the game. Oh, look who's in the ring. It's David Diamante, fresh off life-saving spinal surgery. When did David Diamante get that life-saving spinal surgery? When was that? Because he's moving tremendous. The man's basically doing backflips in a damn ring 2-3 months after having life-saving spinal surgery. So it is what it is. Anyway, let's see Buatsi come to the ring. I beg Buatsi just change that walk-on tune. I beg him. I'll beg him change that walk-on tune. Let's hear it. Oh, he's coming on to some down-home music from Africa, Buatsi. But you know he's going to switch it up and come out to that same old rubbish ring tune he comes out to. Here he comes. I'm expecting big things from Buatsi, you know. I'm serious. I'm not saying he can beat Anthony Yard. You have to understand about Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard is extremely spiteful in the ring. You guys know Anthony Yard. You know when Anthony Yard has a man hurt, it's bad news, yeah? You see that against Lyndon Arthur. When Anthony Yard has a man hurt, it's bad news. But Buatsi is spiteful. He is very spiteful. He's a guy out of the ring, great guy. He's a guy who paid for Liam Conroy's medical bills. When Liam Conroy wanted to come back to boxing, he had to pay $2 or so grand, yeah? For a medical to come back to the sport of boxing, and Buatsi paid it off for him. He's a genuinely good guy. But I find him fascinating because when he does get in the ring, he's spiteful. Oh, he's coming out to this tune for real. All right, respect to Joshua Buatsi for changing that walk-on tune. It is what it is. So Joshua Buatsi coming out to the African war music, yeah? Spitting a few bars and all that. They've got that ring doctor tonight as well. Have you seen that ring doctor? You watch out for that ring doctor. She's the one wearing the pink jacket. They've got a medical doctor who checks the fighters mid-fight. I don't want to be pervy, but I have to say it is funny. They do seem to find some of the best-looking female doctors in the history of mankind. Watch out for that during the mid-fight. Eddie Hearn, the boarding school plant pot, is standing in the ring there as usual, doing nothing. Don't know why he's in the ring for, but it is what it is. But the boarding school plant pot, aka Eddie Hearn, is standing in the middle of the ring. Right, here comes Craig Richards is coming to the ring. There you go. Got Tony and Peter Sims there. Got Cutman Sheldon. It is what it is. Shevin says, is that Davido African rapper? Probably. You know me. It is what it is. Yeah, that ring doctor's like Chelsea's old physio. Yeah, Eva Caniero. Yeah, of course. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. That ring doctor, I've seen her in a few fights. I have to say, like, you can't not notice her because she is extremely good looking. It's like, where do they find doctors like that? Where do they find them? It is what it is, isn't it? Buatsi is on Craig Richards is on his way to the ring right now. We're gonna get this fight on. Listen, I'm just guessing when I say who's gonna win. Buatsi's very hittable. To be honest, he's a very hittable guy. Joshua Buatsi. He's a very, very hittable guy. He leaves his chin to hang out in the air. To me, he hasn't really fought. Has Buatsi fought any real opposition? What guys do you say is Buatsi's best opposition? He hasn't really. I'm not going on about resumes too much, but you feel me? Talking about experience in the boxing ring. I wouldn't say Buatsi's really fought anybody, amazing that I've seen. Leaves his chin out to dry. You know what Craig Richards is going to do tonight? Craig Richards is going to try and get behind the jab and get Buatsi to fall in behind the shots. And that's what's going to happen. I agree, Don Soft. Craig Richards is going to stick behind the jab and get Buatsi to fall in behind the shots. And Buatsi falls in and he drops his hands. He walks himself into shots. And that's the when people say he will get Anthony Yarde out of there, that's the one thing about Buatsi. Buatsi leaves himself open for a lot of counter punches. There's one shot in particular, but I haven't seen a Buatsi fight in some time, so I can't remember. But there's one shot in particular he keeps getting hit with over and over again. And you get hit by guys like Anthony Yarde. You stay hit at this level. I'm not saying Anthony Yarde's an elite level like heavyweight, but you get hit with someone, but you get hit by someone like Anthony Yarde, and you will stay hit. Because that dude can punch. Let me hear Richard's walk-on music. What on earth is he coming out to? Is that a joke? Hold on, he's stepping it up now. Is he going like to Bad Boys? Yes, man. He got out some bad man music, Craig Richards. I don't know my ragger. Does anybody know this one? I don't know my dance or I don't know my ragger, but does anybody know the tune that Richards coming out to? This is it, man. Craig Richards showing how walkouts are done. Coming out to the yard music. Is it really Capleton slew them? I don't know. It's slew them. I know Capleton, but I don't know much about. Honestly, I don't listen to a lot of dancehall or ragga, to be honest. It's Capleton, yeah. Hey, Craig Richards coming out to that yard music, bro. Hope he gets it done. This man coming out to Capleton. Bomba Clarty. Bomba Clarty. Big up Craig Richards for the entrance. Right. They're doing the tail of the tape. Forgotten about that one still. Bumper Clarty. repartee out there to Craig Richards, man. Craig Richards has won the walkout. Can he win the fight? They're longing this out. Do you know what it is? It wouldn't surprise me. The Zone is such a shit show these days. It wouldn't surprise me if they did national anthems. Even though these clowns are both from the same country. They just love longing this shit out, don't they? Bro, it's like 20 to 11. It's like 10 to 11 at night, man. It's bedtime. I'm nearly a 40-year-old man. I need my sleep, man. Barry Hearn. You see Barry Hearn in the crowd? Imagine what Barry Hearn must be thinking, hearing them kind of tunes then. Barry Hearn ringside, listening to Capleton. I mean, Barry Hearn ringside, listening to Capleton. Lord knows what must be going through Barry Hearn's mind when you hear them kind of tune them. It is what it is. All right, Joe says, right, we're all agreeing. Round 0 goes to Craig Richards. 100%. Oh my gosh, let's see. So we're waiting for Diamante to stop talking because, you know, we all know Diamante loves to hear himself. Oh, I'll tell you one thing. All that weight loss that I've been doing, I'm not sure if I'll be losing weight in a minute. I just had half a bottle of M&S pink lemonade and some strawberries. M&S strawberries with icing sugar. Hey? M&S strawberries with icing sugar. The missus likes to sort those out for me. Likes to leave me some strawberries and icing in the fridge. That's the kind of thing that Ellie Brooke would do. Do you not think? You know, sometimes I just look at Ellie Brooke, right? And I look at Ellie Brooke's body of work. And I look at Ellie Brooke's resume. And Ellie Brooke just looks like that kind of thoughtful girl to me. She looks like the kind of girl that knows, you know, you're doing a show tonight. And just knows that, you know, you might want a few M&S strawberries with some icing sugar on it. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? You guys need to clock on, you know what I mean? Ellie Brooke is all woman. She is all woman. And if you want to see her fight, Saturday, July the 16th at the O2, you can see her fight in 3 1.5-minute rounds. Now let's go on to the main event. Now it's time for the main event. Let me get some decent visuals up on the screen. Welcome to Buatsi versus Richards. For some reason, the winner of this apparently may be in line to get Canelo Alvarez. Lord knows how that's happened. But it was what it is. Look at these comments. Look. They're commenting on look. Crowd seems more into Richards, or at least his walkout music. You know what? Craig Richards has been one of the baddest man walkouts I've seen in a long time, you know. It is what it is. Don Self says Richards has got more fans inside the arena. Are you sure? Because Craig Richards' sister, her voice echoes around the arena and makes you think there's 20,000 in there, but really there's one. You never know, you know. They're saying Richards has more fans in the arena. I don't know, man. Craig Richards' sister done voice echo around the whole arena. Do you know what I mean? You don't need speakers and amplifiers when you got her there. Okay, this fight's on. Buatsi looks like he's going to go down for murder. He looks vicious, you know. I have to be honest with you. If I see Buatsi, I ain't looking this man in the eyes, you know. Buatsi looks vicious. He looks like he's having it. I'm going for Joshua Buatsi to do this. I'm sorry. I just think Buatsi's on a whole different level, in my opinion. And he's a genuine light heavy as well. Craig Richards is a guy who I used to watch him fight at 168. He's not a genuine light heavy. Well, he's not. Buatsi's a genuine light heavy. Okay, this fight's on. Here we go. Richards and Bivol. Here you go. Richards and Buatsi. You know, straight away, Richards, yeah, has the height, obviously. Buatsi straight away is beating him to the jab. Straight away, Buatsi's beating him to the jab. And that's a great start from Buatsi. Don't let a guy like Richards get settled. You know, a guy like Richards wants to get on the back foot, jab, 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 pick up the timing. Don't let him do that. Get into him early and start hustling. And Buatsi's doing a great job of pushing Richards out the center of the ring, and he's beating Richards to the jab very, very early on. Richards ain't able to establish that jab. And that's a very good I mean, you know, you have to be a very, very good fighter to do these kind of things. It's easier said than done. But we see Anthony Yarde do a very, very similar thing to Lyndon Arthur in their rematch, where he never let Lyndon Arthur got settled with the jab. Very, very good foot movement early on to trigger the jab off Lyndon Arthur, make him fall short, and then step in behind the shots. And I have to say, Buatsi's very, very good start from Buatsi. Very, very good start. Good right hand though from Craig Richards down the middle. I'm 1 minute 40 into the rounds. Richards already. Let me see. Richards is now starting to work that jab and double up with that jab. Good jab from Richards again. If you're Buatsi, you don't want Craig Richards to get into that rhythm. Buatsi made a good start, and like I said before, Buatsi is a not nice lead uppercut there down the middle from Richards. I mean, I like to see Buatsi go to the body as well. Like a lot of these fighters, what do you think about body punching? They don't like to go to the body very often in these kind of level fights. If you're the short man, if you're the slightly shorter man, or body shot should be there on for Buatsi. So I'm just having a look here. How have you guys got it so far? I've got like 55 seconds left in round one. Do you know, Buatsi had a good start, but Richard started picking him up with the jab and then got a few right hands coming in. My zone's playing up a bit for obvious reasons. So, of course, there we go. Let's see if it gets a bit better. Charlie says Richards is a lot more relaxed. That's very, very important. Relaxation in boxing is very, very important. Relaxation in boxing. It makes the shot sharper. You lose a lot less energy if you're relaxed. I agree with you. Richards seems to be getting into a little bit of a flow now behind that jab, you see? Starting to get into a little bit of a flow behind that jab. And he's starting to establish a bit of distance there. I think Buatsi might have hurt him there. I'm not sure. Buatsi there closed in on the ropes and unloaded with an overhand right. But it was a left hook to the body. Buatsi's throwing some left hooks to the body. If you're watching carefully, see when Buatsi's missing with that overhand right. He's coming in with some left hooks to the body. So let's see what happens with those. But that round will go to Buatsi. That'll be a Buatsi round. And Buatsi's doing the right thing, getting stuck into him. Right, let's hear what Virgil Hunter's saying in the corner. I can't hear. Sorry about that. I was trying to hear what Lord Virgil Hunter was saying in the corner. I couldn't hear what Virgil Hunter was trying to say in the corner. I will go for Buatsi in that first round. Sorry about that. I thought Buatsi threw some interesting left hooks to the body after he was missing with that overhand right. And like I said, if you're Craig Richards, you've got to find a way to counter Buatsi, innit? When he falls in short with that right hand, with that overhand right, when he falls in short, you've got to have a counter shot. Find the gaps. Find the gaps. Oh, big overhand right from Buatsi, I think. It's another overhand right from Buatsi. Richards leaves that left hand out a lot, doesn't he? He naturally, he does push that jab, doesn't he? Good counter left hook there from Richards. But when Buatsi hits this guy, you can see the difference. You know what Richards has got to start doing, in my opinion? I could be completely wrong. But I like to see Richards start varying the jab and feinting the jab because he's going to get timed off that jab, Buatsi's going to time him and come with the overhand right. You can see Buatsi sees that overhand right over the jab every single time. That was a good right hook to the body from Buatsi. Buatsi's sitting in front of him and he's holding his feet in front of him because I think he wants to go with the overhand right over his jab. And I think that's the shot that he might be looking for here. But good body shots there again from Buatsi on the inside there. Good little right hook to the body. But Richards is going to get timed if he keeps pushing his shots at the same pace. So try to feint the shots a bit. But right now, I have to be honest with you, when Buatsi lands, you can see the difference. I don't know how you guys feel. But when Buatsi lands, you can see the difference when Buatsi lands. You can see it. Oh, Richards went with a lead left hook there, and Buatsi countered him there. I'm just going to see. Excellent left hook to the body from Buatsi. Oh, my God. I think Richards got hurt. Big left hooks to the body. Let me see, though. Some of those have been covered off by gloves. With Richards, his style, it's hard to know if it's just bad balance or if he's being hurt because anytime they go close and the bodies are bumping around, he's getting manhandled in there. Buatsi looks like the stronger fighter, but with some of these shots, good jab, straight right hand from Richards. It's hard to tell if he's, but he looks, if you look at the way Richards is pushing the shots, he looks like he's feeling it in there. What do you guys think? He's pushing the shots, particularly the jab. The jab isn't crisp from Richards. It's a shot that he's pushing. If you look at his jab, to me, you look at Buatsi's jab, it's so much sharper. Richards is pushing the jab. He looks early on like he's really feeling it, but Buatsi's put some very, very good left hooks into the body. Buatsi's on the outside in a minute, and he's just making Richards fall short. He had a look there at the overhand right, and it wasn't there. Richards saw it. Good feinting there from Richards there. Good feinting. Richards has got to start breaking up Buatsi's timing because Buatsi's got him timed. So Richards has got to start feinting, but feinting with the jab, touching with the jab, feinting before he goes. Can't just go because Buatsi's timing and they're picking him up. Good left hook to the body there, it looked like by Richards. Don't know if it landed clean, but it was a good left hook to the body. There's a better round from Richards. Who would you give that second round to? I thought Richards came into it, but I'd probably give it to Buatsi though. But I thought Richards did better in that round. We'll see if Buatsi can sustain the pace. Maybe Richards is starting to make adjustments because he knows what's kind of coming with Buatsi, isn't he? Buatsi's holding his feet on the outside. He's looking for the overhand right. If he falls in short with the overhand right, he's looking to come back with a left hook to the body. That's kind of how Buatsi's kind of trying to do him in it. Cut him off, push him back to the ropes. Or look to set him up for that overhand right over the jab. If he misses that overhand right, come back across him with the left hook. Thing about Craig Richards, yeah? Thing about Craig Richards is he's got good distance, but he doesn't have quick feet. You know what I'm saying? Craig Richards doesn't have quick feet, from what I can see. I haven't seen Craig Richards fight in a long time since his fight with Bivol. But he doesn't like to have the quickest feet. What do you think? Do you guys think I'm right about that or wrong about that? So for Richards, even though he's got distance, he struggles to adjust the distance because his feet doesn't look like he's naturally fleet-footed. He's got the height, he's got the reach, but his foot speed, it looks like Buatsi's actually got the quicker foot speed. So also when Buatsi puts the gas on him, Buatsi can really close distance on him very quickly. Like he finds it difficult to keep himself out of range. Buatsi's got the much quicker feet out of these two. Richards needs to vary that jab because he's going to get right-handed over that jab. He keeps pushing that jab and leaving it out there. When you push it, you leave it out there. But he's definitely unsteady on his feet. I don't know if it's just his balance. But I just watch him. Like when Buatsi's landing shots on Richards, Richards looks a little bit off balance. Like, and it given the impression that some of these shots are hurting him, but he just looks a little bit off balance when he's moving laterally. If you just watch him, you know what I'm talking about. I think it's just the way he moves on his feet. Good left hook to the body by Joshua Buatsi. Craig Richards returns with a left hook. Good jab by Buatsi. So I'm just having a little look. I can see your guys' comments. Most of you guys think it's 1-1 at the minute. I don't know. I think Buatsi might be 2-0 up. I'm just trying to see what Buatsi's trying to do. Buatsi's done a pretty good job against with the Richards jab so far. He's beating Richards to the jab. For me, I always say it's never a good sign when the shorter man with possibly shorter arms. I'm not sure about the reach, but it's never a good sign when the shorter man with the shorter arms is beating the taller fighter to a jab. It's never a good sign. It's never a good sign for me. And Buatsi, that was a good overhand right from Buatsi there. I'm just trying to see. Sorry, 184 in the chat. Please hit the like button. I'm just looking carefully at what Buatsi's doing. I like what he's doing. Buatsi, if you look at Buatsi, he's holding his feet. He's staying close and he's holding his feet. Little bit of head movement, but what I like about Buatsi is he's changing levels. And you see what he does? He does do this very well. It's a good uppercut from Buatsi. One thing that Buatsi does well, if you look at one of Buatsi's highlight reel knockouts, yeah? He fakes the jab down low and comes up with the overhand right. So Buatsi does a very, very good job of faking low and then coming upstairs. And we've seen that plenty of times in fights. One of his highlight reel journeyman knockouts, probably one of the knockouts of the year, was the same shot. Where he just went and faking that jab to the body and then he comes up with that overhand right. But Buatsi looks the stronger on the inside. He looks the stronger out of the two, to be honest. I'm giving this round to Buatsi so far. 8 seconds to go. Just Buatsi looks always a decent little right hand there from Richards. But you know what? Buatsi's got quicker feet. He's got quicker feet. He closed him in. So I've got it 3-0 to Joshua Buatsi at this point. But I could be wrong. It could be 2-1. But I just think for me at the minute, Craig Richards having a hard time landing the jab with any kind of consistency. He's having a hard time maintaining any kind of distance. Joshua Buatsi's got much quicker feet than Craig Richards. He's able to walk into distance and stay in distance. And when he lands, it seems to have a little bit more effect. The replay showing Craig Richards landed some very, very good shots, though. Just a question of can Buatsi maintain this pace in a minute. We ever look at the look at this? Look, have I got this right? If you look at this guy from the bloody elbow, I believe he's scoring the fight for fucking Richards. He's given Richards 2 out of the first 3. What do you think about that? Hell no. Hell no. Right, we're into round 4. Just started. My DAZN is cocking up left, right, and centre. So you have to bear with me. Right, back into it. 2:28 to go in round 4. I'm a little bit behind in this round, so you have to bear with me. I'll speed up. I'm a little bit behind. I'm 2:20 there. I had a few stoppages in my DAZN coverage, so I'm a little bit behind. So 200 in the chat. Please hit the like button if you like my coverage so far. Good uppercut from Buatsi. Good uppercut from Craig Richards up on the inside as Buatsi's head came over his front foot, and Richards found him with that uppercut. Good right hand there from Craig Richards as well. Let's see how Craig Richards is doing with the jab and keeps distance. Let's see. Not a lot of jabbing at the minute from Craig Richards. He looks unsteady on his feet. Can you guys see what I'm saying in the chat? I think it's just the way he moves. But whenever he circles around the ring from one side to another, the way his footwork is, he looks really unsteady on his feet. His left hand's starting to get really low and he's starting to get ragged, you know, Richards. That left hand's getting lower and lower. Buatsi's really starting to rip those body shots up on the inside. Good change of angle. Double left hook to the body from Buatsi. See that low left hand from Craig Richards? That's going to get him knocked out in this fight, you know. Because I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time for that overhand right lands. And Buatsi just threw one and missed him by an inch. It's only a matter of time before Buatsi's going to set him up for that overhand right. Up on the inside, just watching. Buatsi seems the stronger out of the 2 up on the inside every single time. Buatsi looking spiteful tonight. Richards is not pushing that jab. Good left hook there from Craig Richards. But can you see the lack of a jab from Craig Richards? Lack of a jab, lack of a jab, lack of a jab. You know, if he's not able to touch Buatsi with the jab, he's not going to be able to gauge distance and gauge where he is. The whole point of Richards winning this fight, yeah, is to keep touching Buatsi with the jab and walk Buatsi onto a shot. But at the minute, Buatsi's just getting through him. There's nothing to deter Buatsi from getting on the inside. Absolutely nothing to deter Joshua Buatsi from getting in on the inside at the minute. There's nothing. And it's becoming a very, very ragged fight. Buatsi is like the stronger man. There's a lot of wrestling. There's a lot of grappling in. Good right hand over the top from Richards. But again, Buatsi just eats it and keeps going. Another good right hand. But it's the meatiest shots of these left hooks to the body from Buatsi. He's definitely hurting him with these left hooks to the body, Buatsi. Definitely hurting him with these left hooks to the body. Oh my gosh, there's some big shots. Listen. A lot of respect for Joshua. Joshua Buatsi's a genuine fighter. Genuine fighter, in my opinion. You see him there changing the levels, rolling underneath Craig Richards' shots, hitting him to the body, rolling underneath Richards' hooks, coming back upstairs. Listen, Buatsi's showing a different dimension. Different dimension. He's spiteful, man. Joshua Buatsi's very spiteful and he's very, very well-rounded. That's the bottom line of it. I'm not saying he's going to be an elite level champion, exactly, James Allen, but Joshua Buatsi is one of them guys. He's spiteful, man. He's spiteful. He can give it, he can take it. You get a lot of these guys. I'm a guy, I'm a bit of a fancy Dan. And when the shots start landing, I can't handle the shots. Buatsi can. I'm just going to have a look at this replay from DAZN. Look at that, Buatsi with the overhand right up on the inside and left hook. He hurt Richards there with that shot. Right at the end of the round as well, Buatsi with the overhand right. And I think that's his plan from day one. is to soften Richards up to the body and then set him up for the overhand right. Richards' problem is he's just got to let that jab go. Even if it's a little touch jab, that you've got to be touching. You've got to be touching. Can't just let Buatsi walk into the inside for free, in my opinion. But easier said than done. Great counter shot from Buatsi. Left hook, right hand there. He waited for Richards to throw, and then he caught and countered. And the thing about Richards is there's no sharpness on Richards' shots. There's no sharpness. El Monty says, leave it with this spiteful word. How about you say goodbye? Because you will never post on this channel again. Goodbye. Spiteful. There you go. You like that. Buatsi's looking spiteful tonight. And you see with Richards, he just the jab's not sharp, pushing the jab. And when you push the jab out like what Richards is doing, when you push the jab out and you push the shots, you can't bring the shots back to your face. That's what we mean by sharpness. That's what we talk about sharp. Yeah? When you push the jab out and the jab don't come back to your chin, he's getting broken down in there. He's getting broken down. And I think that's part of the reason why he's kind of stopped jabbing, you know, because he knows that every time he jabs, Buatsi's looking to... there's another overhand right from Buatsi. Another overhand right from Buatsi. Left hook to the body. Richards is in trouble. Left hook from Buatsi. Buatsi... uppercut from Buatsi. Richards is in trouble in this round. Big trouble. He's in big trouble. You can see there's no pop in Richards' shots. You can see him. Can you see Richards pushing them shots? Absolutely no pop in them shots whatsoever. Buatsi's now just taking a breather and covering up. He's going to go back to work on them very, very soon. There's no pop on Richards' shots. There's no sharpness on the shots. The shots are being pushed. The shots aren't coming back to the chin. There's nothing in these shots really from Craig Richards at the minute. It's only a matter of time before he gets taken out in this fight. Every time Buatsi's hitting him, he's hurting him. Here comes Buatsi now for his next phase of attack. Let's see how he starts it off. Like to see Joshua Buatsi go for that jab to the body. It's there for him if he wants it, and then that overhand right can follow it up. That's the shot that's there for Buatsi. Richards there trying to lead off with the left hook, but Buatsi catches it. He can't keep Buatsi out of that kill zone. He cannot keep Buatsi out of the kill zone. There you go. You see Richards there throwing that left hook. Nothing on it. Craig Richards throws that lead left hook completely unbalanced. He's gassed. He's been broken down. It's not his fault. Buatsi there throws a left hook right hand that just misses. But there's nothing on Richards' shots now. It's all about when Buatsi starts going through the gears again. Buatsi's taking a breather, but it's really only going to be a matter of time. Buatsi stalking him. Nice little jab to the body there from Buatsi. What do you guys think? Yeah, Lamb Chop says, that was very spiteful of you. That was spiteful of me, yeah. Absolute clown show. Dudes coming here for free, think they can tell me how to run a show. Get the fuck out of here. Fucking clowns. It is what it is. James Allen says, never really rated Buatsi, but he's impressing me tonight. Very, very good footwork. He's on a different level to Craig Richards, isn't he? You know, and like I said before, I said that in the beginning of the show. I said, if Joshua Buatsi's the guy who they say he is, he's on a different level to Craig Richards. He's on another level to Craig Richards. And he always was on another level to Craig Richards. All this Bivol talk is fucking nonsense. Do you know what I mean? All this Bivol talk is nonsense. Craig Richards is never in that. Bivol is, like I said before, coast through fights. We've seen Bivol in loads of fights where you thought he could have taken a guy out and got a guy out of there, and he hasn't. This guy, if you look at this John Hanson guy for Bloody Elbow, has got the fight. I think he's got Buatsi by 1. I've got Buatsi winning everything, but it is what it is. Round 6, 2 minute 40 to go. Nice double jab there from Joshua Buatsi. Joshua Buatsi's got the much sharper jab. Much sharper jab for me. And he's got Richards worried about them counter shots. I think that's the reason why Richards isn't keen to get that jab out as much. If you notice, Richards' output on the jab has gone down. He's not throwing the jab. He's not doubling up the jab. He's not touching the jab. And I think he's worried. Oh, that's a big overhand right from Buatsi. That was a big overhand right from Buatsi. Another one just grazed him. Right uppercut from Buatsi. Right uppercut from Buatsi again. These are all landing clean. Oh my gosh, another right uppercut from Buatsi. He's just beating him up. And I think that's the reason why Richards has been dissuaded from jabbing, because I think he's afraid of the catch and counter from Buatsi. Buatsi's there. He's staying in the kill zone. He's staying just outside the range. And when that jab comes, looking to catch left hook. Looking to catch overhand right. Looking to slip overhand right. Buatsi's looking to work off his own work. And I think that's the reason why he's been dissuaded. Richards is pushing Buatsi back. Trying to take the center of the ring. Let's see what happens now. Little double jab there by Craig Richards. Buatsi just circling off and missing. The only hope is that, you know, Buatsi's... Oh, that was a big... As another little... Buatsi again with the overhand right. I don't know if it was an overhand right or straight right hand. It looked like he actually feinted him to the body and came upstairs. He nailed him clean. Clean by Buatsi. He's winning this fight easy. Beating him to the jab there. Pings Richards' head back with a jab again. Nice double jab. And the ironic thing is, you think Richards is the taller man, isn't it? You think he'd be the one employing the double jab. Buatsi's had much more success tonight with the double jab. Much more success tonight with that double jab. Decent right hand by Richards. Left hook by Richards. Buatsi says, come on. He just wants more. Buatsi's still staying in the kill zone. That's the only thing I will say, the only negative I can say about Buatsi tonight. He's fought in spurts, hasn't he? He's basically hurt Richards and taken the rest of the round off. And he's done that in a lot of his rounds. So he's obviously feeling it in there. I mean, there are 6 rounds to go. Buatsi there went for the jab to the chest, overhand right. Richards saw it and just circled off. Buatsi's sort of allowing Richards to get back into this round a little bit. In my opinion. There's no spot on Richards' shots whatsoever. There's no spot on Richards' shots. All the spot is coming from Buatsi. But Richards might have sticked that round. What do you guys think about that round? Buatsi might have just given that round away. What do you guys think? Sticky Knickers says Richards is winning. Winning what? I can guarantee you when these cards come in, he ain't winning tonight. Random Matrix says Buatsi's toying with him. He wants rounds. I don't know about that. Just looking at the replay here. There you go. That's Joshua Buatsi at his best on the replay. Did you see that? You see Buatsi, when he starts off, he starts low. He looks at the body and then he goes to the head. You see that with Buatsi? That's classic Buatsi. Does that in all of his fights. Very, very good with the overhand right because he feints with the eyes. This is not something that's highly technical, but in boxing, I mean, something that even I do in sparring, which is, and I'm trash, yeah, is that you look at the body and then you throw to the head. So you feint a guy with the eyes. It's one of the reasons why you tell people in boxing, never look a guy in the eyes when he boxes. That's something that morons and noobs do. Never, ever look a guy in the eyes when you box. You always look across their chest because the punches are coming from the chest. The punches are never going in the eyes. But again, you get these morons that step into the ring. Do you know what I mean? And they keep trying to look. They keep trying to look people in the eyes and shit. Do you know what I mean? They keep trying to look people in the eyes, and you get eye feinted. Really, really skillful fighters will eye feint you. If I see a guy look in the eyes, I'll look to his body like I'm going to throw, and then I go to the head. If you want to look in the eyes, we'll do it. We can do that all day. 2 minutes 25 to go in round 7. So people are telling me that people online have got this fight for Craig Richards. I don't care how they got it online. I think they're smoking crack. I think you can see only one man in this fight has been hurt, and that's Richards. And Richards has been hurt in a few rounds. Would you agree or disagree? Press 1 if you agree. Press 2 if you disagree. In my opinion, only one man in this fight is being hurt round after round, and that's Craig Richards. Sorry, but we're not sitting here. We're not sitting there counting pity power punches. All right, it's about who's landing effective punching. That's what boxing's about. It's about effective punching. It's not about numbers of punches. It's about who's landing effective punches. All right, the most effective punches have come from Joshua Buatsi. Clearly landing the more hurtful punches, clearly landing the more damaging punches. And as someone who's been in the ring and not fought but had a spar, you can see there's nothing on Richards' punch. He's just pushing shots. There's no spite on these shots. He's pushing his work. If you look at the sharpness of Buatsi's work compared to the sharpness of Richards' work, you can see Richards pushing his punches. If Richards pushed the jab out there, look at Richards' jab and look at his hand position after the jab. Back to his waist. He's pushing shots. Them shots have been pushed. There's no thrust in the shot. If you look at the shots, if you look at that right hand, you look at the shots that Richards is throwing, there's no sharpness. There's nothing there. There's no thrust in them shots. And Buatsi he's never been dissuaded from closing distance. If you look at Buatsi, Craig Richards threw an overhand right. Buatsi just took it and keeps marching forward and then lands a big body shot on the inside, overhand right. You can see all the spite is coming one way. And I'm just being honest. Good double jab right hand from Craig Richards. I mean, listen, it is what it is. Buatsi, like I said before, there might be something going on with the gas tank there. There might be something going on with the gas tank. So again, this might be another Craig Richards round. What Richards is starting to do in the last couple of rounds, he's starting to look for that right uppercut. Starting to look for that right uppercut. Oh, there was that big overhand right from Buatsi at the end of the round. That round might go to Richards. You know what? Let me tell you something. Right, let's have a look at how Joe Cordina's got it. My man Addy's ringside. Let's hear it. Oh, fucking hell, my stream. There you go. So Joe Cordina thinks that Buatsi's ahead in the fight. Good enough for me. There you go. Good enough for me. Don't know how you guys. Who have you guys got winning the fight? Who have you guys got it winning it? Adam D's got Buatsi 6-1 up. I don't know. The last two are interesting because I think Buatsi could have possibly dropped the last two. But it is what it is. Bloody Elbow is scoring it live. They've got Buatsi up by 3. They've got it 68-65 to Buatsi. Final Pugilist has got Buatsi 1 round up. Richard says Buatsi's a long way up, long way ahead. We'll see what happens. We'll see if Richards, listen, Richards has got 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 to go. Let's see what can happen here. For me, there was a decent left hook. I was about to say there's no pop on his shots, but there was a decent little double lead hook from Richards. But Buatsi's still beating him to the jab. See Buatsi just doubling up on that jab. He doesn't miss him with that double jab with Buatsi. And it's nice what he does with the jab because Buatsi just double jabs and he just slips his head. He just slots his head to that right-hand side to take his head off the line of any return jabs from Richards. And I do like that about Buatsi. Nice overhand right there from Buatsi as well. But it's very, very little sharp work from Buatsi. Keeps hitting him with that double jab. And every time he doubles up with that jab, there you go. Left hook to the body, overhand right by Buatsi. Another left hook to the body. That looked hurtful. Buatsi's up on the inside, uppercut to the body. Tony Bellew's got every single round to Joshua Buatsi. I'm not even joking. Tony Bellew's got this fight 7-0 to Buatsi. Richards is trying to do some body work on the inside. There's complaints of low blows coming in. What do you think about that Tony Bellew scorecard? We've got 212 in the chat and we've got 74 likes. Absolutely, absolutely disgusting. It is what it is. But it is what it is. Please feel free to hit the like button if you would like to. Tony Bellew's got Buatsi 7-0 up in this fight. Every single round to Buatsi. Tony Bellew. I'm not sure about that. I have to say. But what I like with Buatsi is this little short double jab he throws. And he just slots his head to the right-hand side to make sure he avoids any sort of oncoming there from Craig Richards. And he's got quicker feet for me. He's got quicker hands, Buatsi. And it's nice. Off that little double jab, when he throws that little double jab, Buatsi, he just pulls over. He just turns over to that right-hand side, and that gives him an angle to then come back with the right hand across Richards or the overhand right across Richards. It is what it is. But Sonny Singh, I'm not joking. Tony Bellew's genuinely got Buatsi 7-0 up in this fight. But Buatsi's dominating Richards again in this round, it looks like to me. I don't know how you guys have got this round. $45 seconds left to go in round 8. Craig Richards is going to need a stoppage, in my opinion, which he ain't going to get. But he's giving it a go. Good uppercut from Craig Richards. Oh, that was interesting. That was interesting. Good uppercut from Craig Richards there. Buatsi, look, Buatsi storming into the kill zone. Oh, that was a good shot. Oh, hold on a minute. Low blow from Buatsi. That was definitely low from Buatsi. But Craig Richards has landed some good shots there. Buatsi's taking them and coming through. Buatsi there went in head first. Head came over his front foot. Richards there with a right uppercut. I think Buatsi's genuinely hurt. Oh my God. But Buatsi hit Richards with an overhand right. What a shot from Buatsi. Then rips to the body. Listen, Buatsi was fucking hurt. And he came back with a big overhand right on the side of Richards. But that was the first time in his career that I've seen Buatsi hurt. That's definitely a Richards round. Let's see the front foot's come up. Richards has been timing him for that right uppercut. Here it comes. Oh my gosh, what a shot. And then he followed up with a left hook. He hurt him. Oh. And one of those shots came around the back of the head. Yeah, he goes. Good spot from Richards. Good spot from Richards. You see when Buatsi, you see what happening? Obviously, Buatsi's got to close the distance, right? He's the smaller man, so in terms of like height and stuff, so he's got to close the distance, right? And Richards has just seen that sometimes this thing when you throw an overhand right, yeah. If someone throws the overhand right and you just step back and make them fall short, their head comes over the front foot and you can counter them with the uppercut. And I think that's the kind of shot like Craig Richards is looking for in this fight. Yeah, that's just the ABCs of boxing. If you're in the ring and you're in the ring with an aggressor and the aggressor's trying to set you up for the overhand right, they throw the overhand right. If you just take a step back and make them fall short, when they miss the overhand right, you'll see it's quite often, their head will then give up and fall right over their front foot and you can pop them in with an uppercut. And that's what Craig Richards is beginning to do in this fight. He's beginning to lay back off that Joshua Buatsi overhand right and come back with his own right uppercut. And he fucking nailed Joshua Buatsi right in the chin. That's the first time I've seen Buatsi hurt, and he was hurt. And he fought for it very well. Joshua Buatsi's a fighter. You see a lot of boxers out there, and they can dish it out, but they can't take it. Now, Buatsi is a genuine fighter. Richards won that round big, in my opinion. Buatsi came into it, though, with a good overhand right at the end of the fight. You can tell Buatsi's been buzzed a little bit because he's just... If you look at Buatsi in a minute, he's on the outside a little bit more. Good overhand right there from Craig Richards. If you look at Buatsi there, a little bit of the sizzle's been taken out of him there. Can you see he's a little bit more reluctant to come in? Can you see it? And now you see Richards there with that double jab. See, before in the fight, Richards couldn't get his jab off. His jab was being smothered. Buatsi was catching, countering, and timing his jab. So he wasn't comfortable jabbing off because Buatsi was just timing him with the right hand over the jab and timing him with all sorts. So he wasn't comfortable getting the jab off. But Buatsi's been dissuaded a little bit. You can tell Buatsi felt the shots, just feeling himself back into the fight. He was buzzed up in that round. And you can see Buatsi's a little bit more tentative there to get to the inside. Can you see? And his jabs are starting to fall short. Can you see Buatsi? Them jabs are just starting to fall short. And the reason, it was a good right hand there from Richards. The jabs are just beginning to fall short from Buatsi because Buatsi's not in range. Can you see? He's a little bit more reluctant to get into range because he's been hurt by Richards. He tried to set him up for the overhand right. That's a lovely left uppercut from Buatsi. Buatsi's in the kill zone. But you see what happened with Buatsi? He threw the right hand. Richards shoulder rolled the right hand and tried to come back with a right uppercut. Richards is looking for that shot. Anytime Buatsi lets go with a right hand, if Richards can make him slip or make him fall short, they're going to throw the right uppercut up the middle. And that's the shot Richards is throwing, that counter shot. But this is a Craig Richards round, in my opinion. Big turnaround in this fight, you know. Big turnaround in this fight. And like I said before, if you look at the distance, Richards has got more time and more space. Can you guys see? If you look at how many jabs that Buatsi's landed, the number of jabs is now going down because the distance between the two fighters has increased. The distance between the two fighters has increased because Buatsi's been hurt. So the foot speed's been slowed down. He's a little bit more wary now of what's coming back. Buatsi tried to lead in with the overhand right. You know, a couple of rounds ago, Buatsi was touch with the double jab and then setting up the overhand rights. You see now what Buatsi's doing. He's throwing them overhand rights from distance. There's a lot more distance now. It's more of a Craig Richards type of fight, this kind of fight. Richards has got more space and more time, and Buatsi there nearly walked himself into a left hook at the end of that round. I've got that round to Craig Richards. This is going to be interesting, you know. We're going to see how much stamina Buatsi's got in the tank. What do you guys, how have you guys got it so far? It's not an amazing fight, but it's an interesting fight. I've got the last two going to Craig Richards. Counterpuncher's got it 5-3. Richards will need a knockout to win this fight. I've got Richards up. You know what? We need to see a little bit more from Buatsi is a little bit more head slots and a little bit more angles. That's what we need to see from Buatsi. A few more head slots and a few more angles. walking himself into shots, walking in his straight lines, and he's walking into shots, and he's been set up for the right uppercut in the middle. Again, when you throw the overhand right or you throw the right hand from distance, yeah, and you fall short, do it right now in your living room. Just throw an overhand right and miss it. You throw the overhand right and you hit fresh air, yeah? If you throw the overhand right and you hit fresh air, look where your head position is. Head comes over the front foot and he's been timed with a right uppercut. So excuse me, my the zone's going tits up again. So I'm not seeing anything at the minute. Oh my God. So just bear with me. Few technical problems. In fact, let me just quickly do this somewhere else. Just give me a sec. I'll be back in a sec. I'm just going to get this round up. So a few technical problems here. Pathetic. Absolutely fucking pathetic, these cunts. Pathetic. Be back in just a sec. So I'll be missing part of the round, but I'll come back in and just pick it up. Looks like Richards is coming right back into this fight, to be honest. Right back into this fight. Oh my God. Right. Oh my fucking God. Oh, sorry. Bear with me. This fucking cunt thing keeps... Oh my God. Right. 1 minute 30 to go in round 10. Sorry about that. Oh, that looked like a good right hand from Craig Richards there. I didn't see if that landed clean. 1 minute 25 to go in round 10. Nice work. That's a lovely little bit of work from Buatsi. But he's starting to look really tired. But that's a lovely little short double jab. Anytime Buatsi gets up on the inside, I like that. Little short double jab. There you go from Buatsi. Left hook to the body, overhand right, which landed clean on Richards. Some good work on the inside. Anytime they get on the inside, Richards... Richards hit his gum shield out with a left uppercut, right uppercut. Good overhand right. Buatsi's got him hurt. That was a good overhand right from Buatsi. He had him hurt there. But I think Richards actually knocked his gum shield out of an uppercut. I could be wrong on that. No, yeah, that's interesting. But it definitely looks like a Buatsi round. Richards hurt him with an uppercut. So he didn't hurt him, but he actually uppercutted his gum shield out. 45 seconds to go. Good overhand, good right hand there from Craig Richards. But it's a big round for Buatsi so far. Oh, that was a good little uppercut from Richards there. Wow, Richards threw the lead by uppercut, landed clean. He's throwing the uppercut at will. Oh, Buatsi's not taking his head off the line, is he? He did a good job, or a good left hook there from Richards, in my opinion. Buatsi's head's coming down that centre line a lot. Not a lot of head movement from Buatsi, in my opinion. Did a good job early on of double jabbing and just finding a slot for that head that was off the line of Richards' jab. But the last couple of rounds, he's been leaving his head down the line an awful lot. And Richards has been pinging him back with uppercuts and all sorts. He looks very tired in this fight, you know. He looks very tired, Buatsi. Do you know what? I'll give Craig Richards that round. Oh, sorry, I'll give Buatsi that round. My apologies. So I'm giving Buatsi that round. What do you guys think about Buatsi and Yard after seeing this fight? Has this changed your opinion? There you go. You see, there was a left uppercut up the middle from Richards. That knocked Buatsi's gum shield out. And then Buatsi just came out firing and hurt him. Definitely a good round for Buatsi. He's a dog. Someone said Joshua Buatsi's a dog. He's a dog. What do you think about Buatsi and Yard? Has anybody changed their opinion? I mean, I think most people would say Craig Richards is a better fighter than Lyndon Arthur. So we've got to give some credit, yeah, to Buatsi. I think we'd all agree Craig Richards has fought on a much better level than fucking Lyndon Arthur. But I'll be honest with you, I think Anthony Yard punches a hell of a lot harder than Craig Richards does. What do you guys think about that? I think Anthony Yard punches a hell of a lot harder than Craig Richards. That's my feeling. Some of these shots that Craig Richards is landing on Buatsi, Lord help Buatsi if Anthony Yard landed them same shots. Do you know what I mean? Lord help him, because it'd be a different ball game. Good little left hook to the body there from Craig Richards for a change. Good work from Buatsi there. Buatsi up on the inside, changed the angle and found the right uppercut to the head. And that's good from Buatsi there. Good. Taking his head off the centre line. They're both on the inside, up close, head to head. The heads are on top of each other and they're firing in the body shots, but that's good work from Buatsi, who's pivoting around the target. You watched that cleverly there. Buatsi pivoting around the target, but Richards landing a good uppercut from Richards. It's good to see Buatsi pivoting him around the target and taking his head off the fucking line for a change. Buatsi tries to come in with the lead hook, doesn't work. Tries to come in with the overhand right. Do you know if good right hand. Oh, good left uppercut from Richards. Buatsi looks tired. 11 and 12. Buatsi looks tired. The referee's warning him about low blows. Referee's warning him about low blows. Oh, Craig Richards with the overhand right. Buatsi looks gassed. Richards has got to break and get behind the jab. Step in behind the jab and let the right hand go. Buatsi's gassed. Oh, he's gassed. You can tell by the shots he's losing his shape. Richards coming forward with the right hand. You know, if Craig Richards can do something about this overhand right, I don't know what he can do. If he can just pick up the left hand and come back over with a left hook. So try and catch the overhand right and come back with his own left hook. He's going to be in business here. Craig Richards. You know what Buatsi's looking for? Can you see there? Buatsi. He went for the right hand and he thought better of it. He's always looking for the overhand right. Craig Richards, can you stand tall, take it and come back with a counter left hook? Or take it and come back with your own right hand. Sorry. I'm a southpaw, so I'm a left-hander. So for me, if I call out weird shots, it's because I'm a southpaw. This is a good round for Richards, in my opinion. Buatsi's really, really feeling the pace here. Really feeling it. He's on the ropes. He's gassed. But it's the overhand right. Good uppercut from Buatsi. It's that overhand right that gets Buatsi out of trouble. Every single time over Richards' low left. Every single time. I just want to see Richards. You know it's coming. Catch and go. When you see that overhand right, catch and go. Catch it, come back with your own right hand. You know what he's going to throw, Craig. Good, straight right hand from Craig Richards. Right on the button. Right on the button. You know what Buatsi's going to look for? He's going to look for the overhand right. Catch and come back with your own shot. Richards is bullying him at the minute. Richards is just bullying him with heart. This is going to be some... Oh, that's a good right hook there from Richards. Uppercuts there for Richards if he wants it. Look at Buatsi's head. Look at his head falling down the middle. Richards, the right uppercuts right there for Craig Richards. Left hook to the body. Overhand right from Craig Richards. Buatsi's still trying to dog it out. Overhand right he lands yet again from Joshua Buatsi. If Craig Richards ever finds a way to stop the overhand right, this fight, he can win this fight. Buatsi tried to shoe shine at the end of the round. Richards is having none of it. He's just dogging him in there. That's a Craig Richards round in my opinion. Final Pugilist says Spider's left hand is putting his socks up. Listen, man. If this dude honestly picked up his left hand and actually caught some of these overhand rights, he would win this fight. And as I say that, the replay shows him doing exactly that. the replay just showed Richards catching a left hand, catching an overhand right. Here's the straight right hand. Oh my gosh, right on the chin. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I think Joshua Buatsi is probably more of a dog than Anthony Yard. If you ask me who's more of a dog, Buatsi or Yard, yeah? I'm saying Buatsi's more of a dog than Yard. But I just think Yard is... it'd be interesting because, you know, but Yard is a puncher. And I'm telling you now, if Buatsi gets hit with these kind of shots against Anthony Yard, I do worry for him, you know, because Anthony Yard ain't no Craig Richards when it comes to punch. I'm no disrespect, but I'm just telling you how it is. That's what it is. Right. Last round. What a fight. Decent fight. Right, so that last round on the Bad Lev's hook cards went to Buatsi. They've got Buatsi win the last 2 rounds. What do you guys think about that? Yes or no? Look at this. They've got Joshua Buatsi winning them last 2 rounds. Really? I don't. I think Richards might have got that last round, certainly. How have you guys got it? How have you guys got it? I think Craig Richards is won quite a few of these last rounds. This is a much better start from Buatsi. He's a dog. I'm not one of those guys who's going to say Buatsi's been exposed or whatever. But Joshua Buatsi's a dog, man. I've got a lot of respect, man. Joshua Buatsi is an absolute dog. He's an absolute fighter. He's a warrior. I've got a lot of respect for him. I like his. I've always liked his style. But whether he beats Anthony Yard or not, don't know. We'll have to see. Let's have a look now. But Buatsi's winning this last round. 2 minutes to go in round 12. Buatsi's definitely winning this last round. Got a good start. Richards with a couple of decent jabs there. He's got to finish strong. You know the shot what Buatsi's going to do. Straight right hand, overhand right. It's what Buatsi's been Buatsi's bread and butter all night long. Good double jab from Buatsi up on the inside. Good catching and countering from Buatsi. Buatsi catching Richards' jab and then countering down the middle with his own double jabs. And he's working off that. But good straight right hand down the middle there from Richards. Another straight right hand just missed. That left hook didn't miss from Richards. That was a good shot. Good little sequence from Richards. Had a lot of success tonight with the lead left hook, Richards. But he needs to get on the front foot and be a bit more aggressive. Buatsi's just dogging it out on the inside. Overhand right after overhand right up on the inside from Buatsi. For me, Buatsi's taking this last round. He's just doing enough, dogging it out. Absolutely. James Allen, Buatsi's got that junkyard dogging in. Just keeps landing this overhand right over Craig Richards' low left. Good left hook there from Buatsi. Craig Richards with the right hand. 1 minute to go. This round's still up to grabs, you know. But I think Buatsi's going to do enough to get this fight. It was a good overhand right there from Richards there. They're up on the inside. Buatsi's working away. Not a lot of these shots are landing clean. These shots from Buatsi are very, very low, by the way. Very, very low shots from Buatsi up on the inside. 40 seconds to go. Good right hand, in my opinion, there from Craig Richards. Jab from Craig Richards. Another overhand right over the low left from Buatsi. That's the shot that's won them the fight. Good left hook to the body from Richards. That's the shot that's won Joshua Buatsi the fight tonight. Is the way he's timed that left hook, that overhand right over Craig Richards' low left hand. And I think it's going to be enough to get him the fight. Very, very good fight. Not an amazing fight, but a good fight. A good domestic level fight. Interesting fight. I think Buatsi's done enough to win this fight. And I think Buatsi's probably done enough to win this round. But Richards is finishing very strong. Oh, big overhand right here. Again, it's the same story. Anytime Richards gets a bit of success, Buatsi finds him with that overhand right. I'll probably give that Joshua Buatsi, to be honest. It was what it is. Give me your scores. This idiot gave the last round to Richards to make the card tighter. No way. For me, that was a Buatsi last round, but this guy's trying to make his card nice and tight. He's got it, right? 115, 113 to Joshua Buatsi. I thought Joshua Buatsi did enough in this fight to win the fight. I don't really care about scoring fights. I don't really care about pound for pound lists. I just watch the fights and enjoy them. I don't really care about scoring it. Shevon's got it 7-5 to Buatsi. He's got it the same as Bad Left Hook. I've got it. You guys got it, Buatsi. Varna Puja's got it 114, 114. Just looking at the replay from his last round. That was a lovely little left hook there from Craig Richards. Games you love saying Buatsi won. Oh, that's some big left hook as well, like Richards caught him with at the end of that round. Some good replays there being shown by DAZN. SB Gaz has got it 8-4 for Buatsi. You're gonna get loads of wide scores because the fight there was some quite nip and tuck rounds in there, weren't there? Some of the rounds are up for debate, so you're gonna get some nip and tuck rounds in there. Oh my god, I just fucking hate these sites so much. Sorry, just trying to fucking god. Oh my god. Sorry, these sites are fucking nightmare. Right. Let me know let me see what the scores are going to be. Sorry, I'm just fucking around at the minute. Sorry, it's just fucking nightmare dealing with this crap online. It's a fucking nightmare. Right, let me get the sound up. Sorry, give me a second. I just want to get the sound up for this. Oh, I can't because I'm an idiot. Okay. Right, you guys are going to have to tell me the scores when the scores come in then. Because my speakers, I'm trying to get my soundbar up and running, and I can't get my soundbar up and running. Oh, there we go. Now it's on. Right. Get your scores in. Josh, 115, 113. Did enough in the end. 8-4, probably fairest score. It was what it was. Here we go. I'm not here the scores.
112. Bob Williams and Gustavo Cunha both scored about 115 to 113.
Yeah, it's going to be Buatsi, you can tell. It's going to be Buatsi. And fair as well. Yeah, Fair decision. He did enough. He did enough. Those are fair cards. 115, 113 twice over, 116, 112. I think those are fair cards. No controversy on the judging. I like Joshua Buatsi. I think he's an absolute dog. I like him. I think he's an absolute dog. What do you think? It's an interesting performance because... Oh, God. Hold on a minute. Yeah, so I'm still going. I thought the streamer cancelled. It's an interesting one, isn't it? It's an interesting one. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Joshua Buatsi going forward? Let's talk about Joshua Buatsi going forward. What do you think his level is? DPM is saying he wants to see a rematch. I thought Buatsi would win, and I thought it'd be a little bit more conclusive than that. But Craig Richards has come out of that very, very well, in my opinion. Very, very, very well, in my opinion. Dan Wakefield says, no complaints, quality fight. Think Buatsi needed that challenge. Where do you think Buatsi rates in the UK right now? Let me tell you something. Honestly, yeah. I think Anthony Yard, and it's not all down to Frank Warren, obviously. It's genuinely isn't all down to Frank Warren, because I do think Frank Warren wants Anthony Yard to be more active. Anthony Yard is not active enough. We've had 200 people in this stream all the way through. Only 88 likes. Please feel free to get the likes up if you like. For years, we've heard people say that... Anthony Yard would get destroyed by Joshua Buatsi. Has that changed your mind? Tonight's performance. Where would you rank Buatsi in the UK right now? Where would you rank Buatsi in the UK? I think you have to give him credit because I think Richards is a good fighter. Crazy D3 says Buatsi is fringe world level. I don't see him winning a title. Look, I don't know. I think you guys are going too hard. Food for Yard. You think Buatsi's food for Yard? I don't know, you know. I don't know. TMT says Buatsi has some stamina issues. Games You Love says, I think it's a 50-50. Anthony Yard's got terrible stamina himself. Do you know what I mean? Anthony Yard's got really, really bad stamina himself. So it is what it is, isn't it, with Anthony Yard? Anthony Yard doesn't have the best stamina himself. So it'd be interesting. Like Anthony Yard... SB Gaz says, I like Richard's style better. Rarely gets hit flush. Buatsi won rounds with his explosiveness, though. Bellew is a knob, giving Buatsi... Tony Bellew is going to be the clown of the morning. Giving Joshua Buatsi them first 7 rounds. Listen, Tony Bellew better not step on social media anytime soon because his name's going to get rinsed out. Look, here we go. I guarantee you, if I search Tony Bellew's name, he's going to get rinsed out. Absolutely rinsed out for them cards. There you go. Sam Jones saying to Tony Bellew, calm down, CJ Ross. Close fight as everyone bar Tony Bellew seemed to have. Judges got it right. Great effort from both men. I hope Tony Bellew never becomes a boxing judge. Cards were about right. Tony Bellew, your score was pathetic. Company man Tony Bellew at it again with his scorecard. Look, Tony Bellew's getting rinsed. That scorecard looked wrong, didn't it? It didn't look right, did it? It didn't look right. Let's go through your comments. K2O says, Yard ain't fought anyone world level barring a Shot Kovalev. Listen, that Shot Kovalev is a better opponent than Craig Richards. Come on. Are you kidding me? Are you joking? Do you think Craig Richards is better than the Kovalev that Kovalev, that Sergei Kovalev that Anthony Yard fought, that took, how many rounds did he take off Canelo Alvarez before he got stopped? How many rounds did that Kovalev take off Canelo Alvarez? Listen, people need to get a bit real, you know, about Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard had no experience and he fought a guy that took rounds off Canelo Alvarez. Let's be honest. Craig Richards ain't taking rounds off Canelo Alvarez. We need to just have some perspective, in my opinion. TMT says Buatsi and Yard have been so inactive. Anthony Yard, I think Frank Warren's desperate to get him out. But it's not down to Frank, is it? It's down to Frank and Tunde. Tunde's the manager. Now, for me, Anthony Yard should not be stepping in the ring with Beterbiev under any circumstances. I don't care if Anthony Yard was the most active fighter in the history of boxing. Anthony Yard does not need to be getting in the ring with Beterbiev anytime soon. Richard from Twitter says Buatsi is not food for I agree. Buatsi and Yard is a 50-50 in my opinion. I think Buatsi's much better, much more well-rounded fighter. But it does worry me, you know, what I saw from him tonight, you know, getting hurt by Richards like that. I mean, Yard is a whole different kettle of fish, in my opinion. Crazy D3 says Buatsi's not beating Bivol, Beterbiev, Smith. What? You don't think Buatsi? Oh, Joe Smith. Sorry, I thought you meant Callum Smith. My bad. Okay, cool. Callum Smith should beat all the UK guys. Yeah, right. Listen, let's do Callum Smith and Joshua Buatsi. Why not? Match them two up. Michael McIntyre has got Yard as number 1 and Buatsi's number 2. KTO says Bivol would body. Bivol doesn't body anybody. That's the thing about Bivol. Bivol does what is necessary to win. Dimitri Bivol doesn't really body bag anybody, does he? Bivol does what it takes to win fights. But I agree, Bivol looks to me to be on a different tier to Buatsi, to be honest. No, I had almost the same card as Belly. First 6 rounds was all Buatsi. Yeah, I don't know. I think 7-0 was a bit harsh. I think I gave Craig Richards like maybe 1 or 2 in them first opening rounds. I don't know. I could be wrong. What did I have it? I had it like 5-0 at one point. So maybe I'm talking shit. 7-0. I'm not sure I had it 7-0. But anyway, I think I might have had it like 5-2 after 7 or something. But it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, maybe I'm talking crap. All right, fringe world level, yes, beneath the level of world champions in Canelo. John Smith says that Yard and Buatsi is a 60-40 fight to Yard. Brian Murphy cleverly would have beaten Buatsi. No. Well, and again, Nathan Cleverly has some serious work rate. And he's a genuine light heavy. Buatsi versus Smith should be next. Yeah, Buatsi and Callum Smith, absolutely. Let's get that on. That's a good fight, isn't it? Buatsi and Callum Smith. Why not? Callum Smith should retire before Chris Billum Smith takes him out. Oh my God. That's probably what we will end up seeing. Instead of seeing Callum Smith and Joshua Buatsi, you'll probably end up seeing Chris Billum Smith and Joshua Buatsi. Winner fights fucking Tommy McCarthy in a fucking trilogy. Can see Buatsi getting caught by Yard. Very interesting. I'll be honest with you, I can see that as well. Buatsi, I can see that as well. I can see Buatsi getting caught by Yard. You know, Yard is a vicious body puncher as well, you know. But so Buatsi's a dog. Honestly, I think Buatsi's more of a dog than Yard. That's the impression I get, you know. That when the bullets start flying, I honestly believe that Buatsi's got a bit more spite in him. I think he's more of a dog than Yard. But Yard is very heavy-handed. And if Yard hits him, he's gonna stay hit. He's gonna stay hit. Now, I would love to see Yard empty the gas tank against Beterbiev. Listen, please. Yard versus Beterbiev, a.k.a. a sanctioned execution. That's what that would be. Legalized execution. Nobody needs to see that fight. Beterbiev's in a whole different league. By the way, does anybody want to see Buatsi and Beterbiev? We could all agree that we never ever need to see that fight. Is that correct, yeah? We can all agree that we never ever need to see Joshua Buatsi versus Beterbiev at any point ever, yeah? Now or in the future. We don't need to see that, yeah? Okay. That's one thing tonight is shown about Buatsi. I like him. I think he's a quality operator. I think there's still a chance he's world class, but elite level in that company, no. Bivol's elite, Beterbiev's elite. He's not elite at that level. Canelo Alvarez is elite. He's not an elite level fighter. But I like him. I think he's a dog. He's a quality fighter. Do you know what? If he fought Anthony Yard, do you know what? I just keep picking and choosing between them. Let me go through your comment. I can't decide. 1 minute I think if Yard hits too hard for him, but then I think, you know what? Buatsi is a better boxer. He's got more experience than Anthony Yard, and he's more of a dog than Yard. Do you know what I mean? I think Buatsi's more well-rounded. He's more of a dog, and he's got a bit more experience than Yard. But then I think, you know what? Yard is a heavy hitter, and Yard's got more experience in a professional ring, in my opinion. Going to Russia, fighting Kovalev, was up against it, nearly got him out of there. You know, that beats anything that Joshua Buatsi's ever done in his career, because we're not going to start telling stories about fucking Craig Richards being anywhere near Kovalev. That's just stupid stuff. Buatsi, I want to fight for a world title next, and I want to do it here. He's not ready for a world title fight. Unless the WBA want to create, like I said before, if the WBA want to create an Aki and Saltfish interim title, then yeah, you can fight for that. That's the only world titles that Joshua Buatsi need to be fighting for next. WBA interim dumpling and planting title. That's what he needs to, and we can get Dean White to sanction the whole thing. And Dean White can serve curry goat and chicken and rice afterwards. But that's the only world title that he needs to be fighting for. Forget about anything else. Games You Love said Eddie Hearn said Buatsi versus Bivol. Of course he did. You know how these guys do it. 200 in the chat, only 99 likes. I called it racism. Please hit the like button if you like what you see right now. We're not charging any money. There's no super chat. It is what it is. Has Beterbiev still got a 100% KO record? Yes, he does. He does. Nobody has ever gone a distance in a professional ring with Artur Beterbiev. Nobody. Fucking Gvozdzik couldn't go the distance with Beterbiev. So forget about it. Joe says they're talking about putting Buatsi in there with Bivol. Bivol would have Buatsi gassed out of his mind. Hearn talking like he wants to make Bivol versus Buatsi, but Canelo has the first refusal. What do you guys think about Bivol versus Buatsi? Do you know what? Yeah, Buatsi's going to have a bit of trouble because Bivol's got infinitely better footwork than Craig Richards. Craig Richards has the height and Craig Richards has the reach, but Craig Richards doesn't have the feet to carry him in and out of range. Bivol's footwork is outstanding. It's not flashy footwork. He doesn't, circle the ring and, go left to right. And his footwork isn't flashy. But Bivol's in and out movement and his controlling of distance is fucking next level. The way Bivol controls distance is next level. It is next level. And Buatsi's gonna find it a lot more difficult to walk Bivol down than he is to fight Richards. And we know what Bivol hurt Canelo at the end of them counter shots. Bivol was working Canelo off them counter shots, so it's not a great fight for Buatsi in my opinion. Let's have a look, see what people are saying about Buatsi and Bivol. I mean, for me, like I said before, it stinks of Hearn's now trying to cash out on him, isn't it? Because if you look at Buatsi, he's been inactive. He hasn't even fought for a European title. Do you think I'm right about saying that? Buatsi's been inactive. Again, it's a bit like, he hasn't even fought for a European title. And they want to talk about, look, here we go. Let's have a look. Eddie Hearn has stated that if Canelo Alvarez chooses to take the Gennady Golovkin trilogy fight next rather than a Dmitry Bivol rematch, then he would like Bivol to defend his WBA light heavyweight title versus Joshua Buatsi at the O2 in London later on this year. Let me have a look at BoxRec. I don't want to be a resume warrior, but I have to do this, right? Because Joshua Buatsi fights for me and normally like very forgettable fights. But they're not the kind of fights that I'm into. Do you know when Sergei Kovalev, let me tell you something. When Anthony Yarde fought Sergei Kovalev, right? That was a very, very clever piece of matchmaking by Queensberry because Sergei Kovalev had been knocked out in 2 of his last 5 fights. Do you understand what I'm saying here? That's the difference. People talk about, Yarde fought Kovalev. Yeah, when Yarde fought Kovalev had been knocked out in 2 of his last 4 or 5 fights and was clearly on the decline. Dmitry Bivol is undefeated and just coming off the biggest win of his career. Let's have a look at his opponents, right? Since 2019, Joshua Buatsi has fought Liam Conroy, Marco Antonio Periban, Ryan Ford, Marco Kalic, Daniel Blenda dos Santos, Ricards Bolotniks, and Craig Richards. And now he's going to be thrown into a fucking WBA title fight with Dmitry Bivol. Look, Bivol's not a wrecking machine. So it's not like he's going to get badly hurt in the fight. But that, for me, is questionable matchmaking. What do you guys think about that? That, for me, that is a cash-out fight, isn't it? That is very, very questionable. I mean, isn't Buatsi supposed to be a golden boy? A big golden boy for British boxing? This is a guy who won an Olympic medal on terrestrial TV, watched by millions, right? And look at his career. Look at the way he's been managed. Tony Avalant, Reynold Quinlan. Look at these fights. Tony Avalant, Reynold Quinlan, Liam Conroy, Marco Antonio Periban, Daniel Blenda dos Santos. 1 year ago today, he fought Daniel Blenda dos Santos. Ricards Bolotniks, Craig Richards, hurt in the fight with Craig Richards. And then you're going to put him in with Bivol. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me get a poll up. Give me a sec. I'll get a poll up. Give me a sec. I'll get a poll up. Should Buatsi fight Bivol next? Yes or no? I know you guys would like to see it, but I want you guys to try and answer that from a promotional perspective. I'll change it. Should Eddie Hearn let Buatsi fight Bivol next? There you go. That's the question in today's poll. We've got 110 likes. I appreciate that. The likes have kind of gone up a little bit. 110 likes, 190 people in the chat, 110 likes. If you look at YouTube right now, at the top of your chat, you will see a poll that's running now. Should Eddie Hearn let Buatsi fight Bivol next? Again, I'm not a resume warrior. Styles make fights. Resumes don't win fights. I think Joshua Buatsi is a very capable fighter. I think he's world class. I do think he's world class, but I think Bivol and Beterbiev are more than world class. That's my opinion. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree. Do you know what I'm saying? Bivol and Beterbiev are more than world class. And I just look at the kind of fights that Buatsi's been involved in, and I don't see how you can look at his performances in any of those fights and think, yeah, he's the guy who's going to go and get. But you never know. I mean, the scorecards for Craig Richards against Bivol were bizarre. So maybe Buatsi could get a decision. I mean, the scorecards that Bivol got against Richards were bizarre. I don't know what those referees were seeing. To me, it looked like Bivol was coasting most of the fight. Bivol was never hurt in that fight at any point. Bivol was never hurt or in trouble in that fight at any point. So, I don't know. He was never hurt or in trouble in that fight at any point. So I don't know where this stuff's coming from. But we'll go through some of the comments. Get your comments and I'll go through them. The amount of times he jabbed Richards out of range, easy work for Bivol. Boxing Madness says, I had that 7-5 Richards. Most of us had that for Buatsi, but it is what it is. TMT says, kind of, yes. It would protect Alvarez while cashing out a fighter going nowhere. Do you think Eddie Hearn's kind of cashing out on Buatsi? Look, he's had him. Let's have a look one more time at this. Look, he's had Buatsi since 2017. Right? Eddie Hearn's had Joshua Buatsi for 5 years. 5 years, this man was an Olympic medalist. Look what they've done with this man in 5 years. Jordan Joseph, Stefan Cuevas, Tony Avalan, Reynold Quinlan, Liam Conroy, Ricards Bolotniks, Ryan Ford, Daniel Black. Look at this, 5 years. They've had Buatsi for 5 years. What do you think? I'm not sure. Like I said, I think Buatsi's good enough to look good in the fight. I think Buatsi probably might look like he belongs in the ring, or I'm not expecting him to get absolutely destroyed. I don't think Bivol's that kind of fighter. I think Bivol's the kind of fighter that fights to the level of his opponents and does what he needs to do to win. But it is what it is. K2O says Joshua manages Buatsi Ultra. That's interesting. Bada Bing says we've been here before with Eddie. He starts running his mouth and his fighters fall flat on their faces. Well, we're going to find out. Let me tell you something. When Buatsi gets to the ring with Bivol, we're going to find out if he really is the new Evander Holyfield. We're going to find out if Buatsi really is the new Evander Holyfield. Let's have a look at the comments online. No thanks. Bivol would rip Buatsi apart. Let's have a look here. Joshua Buatsi isn't ready. Just keep him away. And this is the real guy. You can't listen. Bivol will jab you to death and get a decision. This guy is a different ball game. Tell you this about Yard and Buatsi. As long as they live, they never need to go anywhere near this man. That's all I can tell you right now. Both of them two would not see the bell against it. Would not see the final bell against this guy here. Trust me. This guy here is a whole different fucking breed, man. This dude's a whole different breed of puncher, man. This dude's a whole different breed of puncher, man. That's all I can tell you, man. That's all I can tell you. As long as they keep him away, Bivol's going to jab you to death and get a points decision and coast it. This guy ain't going to coast it. This guy's going to get you out of there, man. This guy's going to get you out of there. Listen, Joshua Buatsi getting a bit of criticism online. Overrated, people are saying. Buatsi doesn't impress. Still think Buatsi needs to step up. This is interesting. Would you agree with this, yes or no? Yard has a better chance of beating Beterbiev than Buatsi. First 4 rounds especially. Yeah, well, I don't know. Callum Johnson, like I said, nearly got Beterbiev out of there. Do you remember? Callum Johnson.
Callum Johnson nearly had him out of there. He was gone. When Callum Johnson landed clean on him, he was gone. He was in big trouble, Beterbiev. He was in big trouble in that fight. But then you see the mark of the man, that he can be in that much trouble, and then 2 rounds later, the way he finished that fight, Beterbiev is a monster. To be that hurt in a fight, Beterbiev was hurt, on the floor, hurt. And then you see him getting up. And in 2 rounds later, just obliterated the dude. He's bad news, that dude, man. He's real bad news. Very, very bad news to get hit that hurt, to get hurt that badly. Pick yourself off the canvas in that kind of fight, and 2 rounds later, it's over. He's a bad man, Beterbiev. Very, very bad man. This Vlasov, they're calling for the fight with Vlasov, which I think got called off. Oh, Callum Johnson's a big puncher. Listen, I think Anthony Yard should be matched with Callum Johnson. I've said that. And I think that Tunde Ajayi and Frank Warren should get together and make that fight. Anthony Yard shouldn't be going anywhere near Beterbiev. Nowhere near. He needs to be in the ring with Callum Johnson. And if Anthony Yard can beat Callum Johnson, then he is the number one in the UK. There's no question about that. Would you agree with that with me? If Anthony Yard fights Callum Johnson and gets him out of there, then he is the number one light heavyweight in the UK. And that's the end of that discussion. And then you go on and fight what you want to go on and fight. Go and fight for. That's the fight that needs to happen. Tunde Ajayi, Frank Warren need to get together and do that fight. Yard versus Callum Johnson. In-house and get it done. Put it on BT Sport and do it. Ultra, Frank wants Yard world title shot. How do you know? Who told you that, K2O? Where'd you get that from? Who told you that? Who's your source at Queensbury? Tell me. Who's your source at Queensbury for that? Or are you talking out of your minge flaps? Who's your source on that? Because I'm telling you, Tunde Ajayi is his manager. Frank Warren doesn't just turn up and say, Anthony, you're fighting at this time on this day. Tunde is his manager. So it has to go through Tunde as well. Frank doesn't just turn up and say, yeah, you're fighting X and Y and Z. It is what it is. Brother, I really apologize. I don't want to do your name. I don't want to do your name. I don't want to do your name. Right. Ifani, sorry, brother, if I mispronounce your name, I'm terrible. Is it me or does Buatsi have his head glued to the centre line? That's not going to fly at world level. Look, I think Buatsi, it's a fight, isn't it, at the end of the day? And Buatsi had the height advantage against him tonight. He had to close down his man and get to the inside, and then he had to be explosive. It's hard. When you're the shorter man, it's extreme. Listen, it's in my opinion, the only thing harder in boxing, and I've got no experience, obviously, but the only thing harder, right, than having to fight someone who's a lot taller than you is having to fight a big puncher. It's very, very hard. And again, when you get to the inside of Buatsi, you see every time he got to the inside, he had to make it count. And that's why he blew up a lot of energy, whipping them shots in. When you get inside and you break into range, you have to make it count. They are the same height. I thought Richards is taller. No, Richards is taller to me. But it is what it is. Mark McIntyre says, Yard is mandatory for... hold on 1 second. 1-2 pivot said, Ultra, pull up the IBF rankings. The number one lost last night, so Buatsi is next in line for Beterbiev. Listen, we're not seeing that fight. We're not seeing that fight. We're not seeing that fight. You're not letting Buatsi get in the ring fucking... We're not letting Buatsi get in the ring with Beterbiev. Do you think Eddie Hearn would make that fight happen? Eddie Hearn ain't going to do that fight happen. Eddie Hearn ain't going to make that fight happen. He ain't going to let Joshua Buatsi go over there and get wiped out by Beterbiev. Come on, man. Let's see what the internet's saying about Yard and Beterbiev here. Let's just see what the internet's saying about Yard and Beterbiev. Yard and Buatsi. Get your last comments in. We'll go through a few more. Yeah, so I thought look, speaking of good head movement, get this up. Speaking of, if head movement's your thing, if you like good head movement, Ellie Brooke will be fighting on Saturday, July the 16th at the Indigo 02. Settling scores. This fight is being promoted by the PBA. There you go. Officially sanctioned and judged by the Pro Boxing Association. PBA, yeah? And they will be fighting, I think, 3 1.5-minute rounds. So if you like to see good head movement, Ellie Brooke and Ashford Wett will be getting it on July the 16th at the O2 Arena. Meanwhile, getting back to tonight's topic. Crazy D3 says Richards versus Lyndon Arthur. Where is Lyndon Arthur? Nobody has any idea where Lyndon Arthur is. I asked Sonny Edwards. So, Sonny, where's Lyndon? No answer.
No one knows where Lyndon Arthur is. Everybody assumed he'd be going to Eddie Hearn. Not that Eddie Hearn would know what to do with a guy like Lyndon Arthur anyway. Do you know what I mean? But it is what it is. Yeah, Yard doesn't want to risk losing his WBO. But the thing is, Yard, listen, I understand Yard doesn't want to risk losing his spot, and he wants to fight for the undisputed or whatever. But mate, what do you guys think about that? I mean, he's getting in. He's going to be getting in with some big punches, man. I don't know. It is what it is. But I would like to see him have one more fight. I think that Callum Johnson's been incredibly inactive, and Callum Johnson was hurt very, very badly in his last outing on BT Sport. He was hurt badly. Came back to stop the guy, but he was hurt badly in that fight. So I think Anthony Yarde will get Callum Johnson out of there. I think the time is right to get Callum Johnson out of there. It's a good fight. It's a bit more experience for Yarde, and it gets him that little bit more experience before he gets to the ring with some certified killers. Corrupt says Eddie offered Yarde $1 million for the Buatsi fight. Listen, Eddie needs to concentrate on winning purse bids. That's what he needs to concentrate on. Eddie Hearn needs to stop offering imaginary money for imaginary fights, and he needs to start winning purse bids. He offering £1 million for Anthony Yarde, yeah, versus Buatsi. But when these purse bids can't, Frank Warren keeps beating him. Funny like that, isn't it? When his man Demetrius Andrade, who he said was the most avoided fighter he'd ever worked with. Do you remember that? Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn said Demetrius Andrade was the most avoided fighter that he ever worked with. If he's so avoided, how come you let Frank Warren beat you in a purse bid then for the Zach Parker fight? This guy talks nonsense, man. Most avoided fighter of all time. That's what he said. He's the most avoided fighter I've ever worked with. He was so avoided, yeah. He was so avoided that when it came time for his fight with Zach Parker, Frank Warren outbid you, and then Andrade pulled out the fight. That's how avoided Andrade was. That tells you that Eddie Hearn, Chris Mannix, and all these guys at the Zone talk rubbish. They talk rubbish, mate, don't they? They talk pure garbage. Demetrius Andrade is the bogeyman of the division. He's the most avoided man. Fucking Zach Parker couldn't fucking wait to get his hands on Andrade. And is that fight happening? No. Is that fight being rescheduled? No. End of story. Is the fight being rescheduled? No. Simple as that. Simple as that. Simple and plain as that. Let's have a look. Ab says Britain has a fantastic light heavy division. Best thing for all is a tournament between them. Never going to happen. Mr. Boxing Today says Bivol will stop Buatsi on tonight's performance, so will Yarde. Who is Bivol stopping? Who are these fights? Who's Bivol stopping? I don't see it. I think Bivol just fights to the levels of his opponent. You know? I just think he fights to the levels of his opponent. I think a lot of these guys just need that. They need that challenge. Usyk couldn't stop Chisora. Got in the ring with Anthony Joshua, and he was literally 20 seconds from getting Anthony Joshua out of there. You know? He's 20 seconds away from getting that towel, Anthony Joshua, the corner through the towel in. 10 or so more seconds, and Joshua would have got stopped. See, I just think some of these fighters, they just need that kick up the arse, and I think Bivol's one of them. Sorry, I'm just going through some final comments here. Boom says Yarde shouldn't be waiting around in his prime years. And Yarde is big for the weight, you know. And that's the thing about, listen, I'm not one of these guys to harp on about inactivity, but Yarde is a guy who struggles to make weight. We all know, innit? Anthony Yarde struggles to make 175 pounds. He struggles to make it. He struggles. We've all seen him on the scales looking half dead. Hasn't he failed to make weight a couple of times and had to go back and burn off a few extra ounces, innit? In there a couple of times where Yarde hasn't made weight at the first attempt. And Anthony Yarde struggles. Anthony Yarde struggles to make weight. So you struggle to make weight, you're inactive. I mean, they wanted to get Yarde out for the Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte undercard. Remember that fight when certain YouTube channels were telling you that Dillian Whyte was gonna knock Tyson Fury out with a left hook? Do you remember that? It's funny how all that stuff's calmed down now, isn't it? What happened to all the Dillian Whyte fans out there? Has anybody seen any Dillian Whyte fans out there? It's like after that date, they've all disappeared. That's super weird, isn't it? After April 23rd, they've all disappeared. But for fucking two and a half years straight, it was day after day of Tyson Fury's avoiding Dillian Whyte, and then the man got knocked out, and you never hear from them no more. Strange how that works, isn't it? Strange how that works. Look at me, I just carry on as usual, innit? Carry on as usual. Yard ain't gonna make it against the elites at light heavyweight. No, I don't think so. Let's have a look at some more comments. Yeah, White ain't got no fans. Where's Dillian White's fan? By the way, this is somebody's card. So I think Rob Tebbett's laying into Tony Bellew's scoring. Rob Tebbett had it Joshua Buatsi by 116 to 112. I'm not going to make any comment on Rob Tebbett, but it is what it is, isn't it? I'm not going to make any comment on there. Do you know what I mean? Right, guys. What's up next? Let's get the Matchroom. Let's get the Matchroom website up. What delights are we being served next on DAZN? Shall we have a look? You can keep on with your comments about. Let me check this poll. Right, the poll has got only 74 votes. Oh, the votes are going up. If you guys want to vote, get your votes in right now. Top of the chat, we'll get your votes in. Should Eddie Hearn let Buatsi fight Bivol next? I'll see what the internet's saying quickly about this. Should Eddie Hearn let Buatsi fight Bivol next? So far, 64% of you are saying no. 64% of people are saying no. Eddie Hearn shouldn't let Joshua Buatsi in a ring with Dimitri Bivol. I think Bivol's too much. Let's have a look and see what Matchroom Boxing are bringing. They said that. What did Eddie Hearn say to Leonard Ellaby? Leonard Ellaby said, I'm 100 times. Eddie Hearn said to Leonard Ellaby, I'm 100 times bigger than you. That's what Eddie Hearn said. Do people remember this? I'm not even sure Leonard Ellaby's a promoter, but I'll ask you a genuine question. Just out of interest. I mean, Eddie Hearn might be right, but you know Eddie Hearn saying he's 100 times bigger than Eddie Hearn. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, Leonard Ellaby's been a key part of some pretty important fights. I mean, I don't know. Do you guys remember this fight? What about this fight? Was this a big fight? Mayweather versus Pacquiao. What do you guys think? Do you think that was a big fight? I don't know. Was that a big fight or was that not? What happened to Mayweather and Pacquiao? What did they do at the O2 Arena, did they? Mayweather and Pacquiao at the O2 Arena. Tickets, 20 quid. Sit next to Jake Wood from EastEnders, isn't it? Was that what they were doing at Mayweather Pacquiao? Is that what they were doing at Mayweather and Pacquiao? Inviting Max Brannan from EastEnders in the £20 seats. Is that what they were doing? Because last time I checked, Leonard Ellaby's been involved in some pretty big fucking fights. Was Mayweather and Pacquiao a big fight? Okay. What about Mayweather and Conor McGregor? Was that a big fight? Was that a big fight or was that not? I don't know, man. Someone told me about Mayweather versus McGregor. Did that do quite a lot of money on pay-per-view? Which DAZN said was dead. Didn't DAZN say pay-per-view was dead? And now they're in the pay-per-view business. Didn't Eddie Hearn say pay-per-view's finished? Didn't Eddie Hearn say that pay-per-view was finished and he starts running pay-per-view on DAZN? Because someone told me, was Leonard Ellaby involved in Mayweather and McGregor? Was he involved in it or not? Was he involved or not? I don't know. Last time I checked, Leonard was involved in some pretty big fucking fights. Mayweather, McGregor, Mayweather, Pacquiao. Were these big money fights? So let's have a look at some of the fights Matchroom's involved in. Let's have a look. Joe Cordina versus Kenichi Ogawa. Is this a big fight or? And I like Joe Cordina. This is a big fight, yeah? Kenichi Ogawa and Joe Cordina. There you go. On the undercard, let's have a look at this undercard. When's this card? The 4th of June. So this fight takes place in best part of 2 weeks. 2 weeks away from Joe Cordina, who I think is one of the best boxers in Britain. I think Joe Cordina is fantastic, to be honest. I think Joe Cordina is absolutely fantastic, to be honest. We've got Farag Kubinov versus Zelfa Barrett. Farag Kubinov versus Zelfa Barrett. We've got Monique Bucks versus TBA. Who's Monique Bucks? And we've got Joe Morgan versus TBA. So we've got a Matchroom card that's 2 weeks away. And so far on this card, we've got 4 fights. How you like that? Apparently, he's the biggest promoter in the world by far. Well, maybe he is. What do you guys think about this? Is this game changed? Is this two weeks away? Joe Cordina is fighting for a world title. Fantastic. We look at the undercard. 3 fights on the end. Who's Monique Bucks? Should we have a look? Who is Monique Bucks? It does sound like something, doesn't it? Hold on. What on earth is going on? Monique Bucks. Oh, here we go. Monique Bucks from the DJ booth to the boxing ring. Let's have a look here. She's managed by Tony Borg. Well, anybody who fucks with Tony Borg is down with me. She's from Wales. Oh, let's have a look. Can we get a good picture of Monique Bucks? There you go. So there you go. You've got Monique Bucks. There you go.
Mr. Boxing Today says the buck stops here. So, does anybody give a fucks about Monique Bucks on this undercard?
Listen. All I do is comment on what Eddie Hearn says. I'm the biggest promoter in the world by far. Isn't that pretty much what he said, isn't it? Like, I'm the best in the world. Didn't he say he's the best in the world? Who does anybody give a fucks
About Monique Bucks? Joe says probably sucks.
Oh, dude. Oh, dude.
British boxing is a joke. How many times do I have to keep telling people British boxing is a fucking joke? All right?
And the sooner people get it into their fucking head, yeah, that the British boxing bubble is beginning to burst, yeah, people need to get that into their head. The glory days are over, yeah. The British boxing bubble is about to burst. We're fucked over here. We're fucked. All right, we're fucked. All right. Make no question about that. Okay. We are fucked. Joshua Buatsi, yeah, is going from fighting Tony Avalon and Rickard Bolotnik straight into a world title fight with Dimitri Bivol. Yeah, we're fucked in this country. Make no mistake. The glory days are over. You can keep talking about stadium fights and crowds and big crowds as much as you like. We are in big, big trouble. And we haven't even seen Conor Benn's opponent yet. We haven't even seen Conor Benn's next opponent. So anyway, you've got Joe Cordina there. What else have we got on the zone? Listen, I'm not, I know this is a good fight. Is this Bam Rodriguez? I could be wrong. I don't really follow the lightweights too much. I'm terrible. I'm not a true boxing fan, am I? Because I don't stay up till 3 a.m. watching Japanese lightweights. So I'm not a boxing connoisseur. But you will find me in the boxing gym if you go in there. That's funny, isn't it? Not a boxing connoisseur, because I don't watch Japanese lightweights at 3:30 in the morning. But it's funny that I'm normally resting because the next day I've got to go put gloves on and hit the heavy bag in the gym the next day. So yeah, just trying to find out some other things there from Matcham. Not too much going on, mind you, as we go. Is it Queensbury? Queensbury's just as bad. I mean, Jesus Christ. I'll tell you what, let's just have a quick look at Queensbury. Let's see what my boss Frank Warren's putting on. Let's see what we got. Brad Foster. I'm just not watching Brad Foster fights. Mark Leach seems like a good guy, good boxer, good British level boxer. It is what it is. Let's go to Frank. Let's see all of Frank's events. Oh, and that's the end of it. There's the beginning of Frank's events, and that's the end of Frank's events. There you go. Never miss an event. Sign up for a newsletter. Fuck me. I think I'd rather sign up for fucking COVID than sign up for a newsletter from Queensbury. Right. Anybody got any final comments? Let's check the polls before we go. 63% of you have voted. 84 of you have voted. 63% of you think that Joshua Buatsi should not be fighting Dimitri Bivol. Let me just go through the final comments on Bivol and Buatsi. Let me get this up on the screen. Very, very quickly. Buatsi would smoke Bivol. During this account, everything boxing, right? I don't agree with anything he says, right? You see this account here. This account gets a lot of hate, right? When I'm on Twitter, people used to send me his stuff all the time. Send me his stuff from this guy. Do you know what I will say about this guy? Do you know this guy's an amateur boxer? He's a legitimate amateur boxer. He's a legitimate amateur boxer. He gets in the ring and he gets punched in the head. And he fights good fighters. Do you know he got in the ring with Kevin Mitchell's son? Listen, I don't agree with anything this dude says. but I will never criticize him. This dude goes in the ring and takes punches. He's a legit amateur boxer and a fucking good one as well. He got in the ring with Kevin Mitchell's son. Hey, this guy can fight, you know. This guy can fight. Bottom line of it, man. This guy knows his way around a boxing ring. I've got a lot of respect for him, man. That guy can fight. He's not one of these journalists that just, you know, that just talk a hot game. Do you know what I mean? Talk a hot game. Let's have a look. Just going through, trying to see what people are saying about Buatsi by 2. This guy had winning Buatsi by 2, but doesn't think he's ready for Bivol. Just trying to get through here. He shouldn't go near Bivol. The fella outboxed the previous pound for pound number 1. Buatsi gets hit too much, and although he's powerful, Bivol looks the sort that only a heavyweight could put down. Fight Yard. He's not going to fight Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard isn't going to fight Buatsi unless Buatsi signs for Queensbury, which I don't think Buatsi signing for Queensbury is a bad move, but it is what it is. But unless Buatsi signs for Queensbury, that fight's never going to happen. Oh, my God. Oh, my. What do you guys think about this one? Buatsi has power and is vicious. It's not impossible he could beat Bivol at all. If he presses him and doesn't box with him at range, he can make it a very, very tough fight for him. Canelo Alvarez had problems walking himself into range and making it a tough fight for Dimitri Bivol. So I'm not sure about that, but everybody's entitled to their fucking opinions. Just going through here. And blah, blah, blah. Okay, right. Final comments from you guys, and then we're going to call it a day. I agree with that comment. Kevin Mitchell's son's okay. I've only seen him on the bag. I haven't seen him seen any of his fights. I've only seen him on the bag. Yeah. And that guy fought him. Everything boxing actually got in the ring with him. So listen, everything boxing's a G. All right, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the show this evening. Please feel free to hit the like button on the way out. And yes, I think I'm gonna go away and do some research on Ellie Brooke, because I know that Ellie Brooke's fighting soon. So I'm going to go away now and do some research on Ellie Brooke and her technique. And I'll see you soon. Peace out.